Testing one. Is this thing on?
It's not on.
Hello. Why am I all alone? Where's everybody?
Why am I so... Sirens on our end.
Sirens.
Let's start the show. Start the show.
That's your siren. What is up, Stephen Cardwell? Says, I picked up Dreams today. So excited. Can't wait to see what VR aspects we'll have. We have some Dreams to talk about for sure. Robert Sullivan, hope you stay warm, man. Thank you for joining.
No, stay warm's a different dude.
Yes. Vash the Danish. Hey, just joined the Patreon, messing with Dreams and a lot of cool stuff. Can't wait for VR Sport. Us as well, my friend. And thank you for joining Patreon. Everyone can support us. Patreon.com/without parole.
Games.
Yes. Brad out of hell, like a Brad out of hell. Ships Geek Out Bops to the Game Cat. Noah Person, hello. B Mac, hello to you too. The Game Cat in the chat. PSVR Underground, what's up, dude? Good to see you here. Didn't know you were going to make it. Stay warm 420, the Game Cat.
Pretty sure that's you.
Hey, Kev Gret, Rody, who's on the tour bus right now, chilling with us,
Without
man.
Parole tour
Good
bus?
To see you. Yes, we have our own Without Parole tour bus.
Are we going on tour, AJ?
Game Cat. Sunshine, happy fun times, the Red Fan VR, Handyman Cat VR, Secrets of Communist Being the Cat Game. Ooh,
I like that. Yeah, that's
Hey, Chorus, the Game Cat, Go Trunk. Hello, Zadi. Morning. Is it morning there? What time is it?
Some good Star Trek shit going on over there with Mzadi.
I feel like I missed somebody.
I miss everybody all the time.
I do. I feel like I missed somebody, though. I know. I'm on top of it. I got it. Let's do it. Joe Grover, JCVR.
Joe Grover, send Joe Grover right over. This is PSVR Gamescast Live, where we film live every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, and we do it. No, it's just live. So there's no more to that statement. My name is Bryan Paul from this channel right here, Without Parole, and in the middle, that's AJ from PSVR Underground. Something Micro Machines.
What's going on, man? I gotta be quick, man. I've got a ship incubating.
You get ship incubating. Oh. And of course, that guy on the left is Dave from Dave Station VR.
How's it going, AJ? You're wearing a different shirt, and I'm wearing a different shirt. And Bryan, I think we're all wearing different shirts.
Oh, they only notice when you wear a different shirt.
We didn't even coordinate beforehand.
But Dave, everyone likes your colorful shirts, and today you're just kind of gray. It's like Heather gray, in fact.
I'm wearing
Dave's gone gray.
Kinds of gray. Check this out. I got gray top, and I got the dark gray bottoms.
I didn't know what we were about to see down there. I was like, and I'm wearing dark gray boxer shorts.
Wait.
Demonetized.
Oh, they're light gray, actually. I'm gray top to bottom today.
Okay. That's good to know. I don't know, guys. What a weird way to start the show. A little housekeeping. Make sure you join our Discord. Discord link is in the description. That is where this conversation that we're about to have happens like 24/7. And man, I think the conversations on Discord just get stranger and stranger by the day, which is, right up my alley, right? Also, make sure you subscribe to Dave at Dave Station VR. That link should be in the description. And subscribe to AJ over at PSVR Underground. Also, link is in the description. These guys are doing God's work, trying to build a nice little PSVR community. We're talking about PlayStation VR games. One of these days, Dave will make another video, and that day will be a celebration for us all.
I had a streak there. But there just haven't been any games coming out. I got to do this No Man's Sky business.
I think you need to play some Bullet Sorrow.
I am not spending money on Bullet Sorrow, and I don't think they're sending codes either. So.
No. They're not. They're not. We'll talk more about that later. Are you still giving shout-outs, AJ?
Yeah, man.
Right, I knew stop. He literally can't stop.
I'm letting you guys do your thing. No, thank you guys. Thank you all, everybody, for joining.
Decepticons in the chat. I thought we were hijacking him from Pumpkins and incorporating him into this show.
Decepticon's gonna have to be our guest host one day, for sure.
But also, you were supposed to drive the van and take him with.
Oh, no.
That didn't happen. Okay. All right. Well, then one day that'll happen, and you'll see Decepticon here. So, guys, I think we should dive into some news. It sounds like we've got a full docket of. Is that a thing? A full docket?
Man, I thought
it could be. Yeah,
I was thinking we have a docket. I didn't think there was a whole lot going on, and I was wrong. We have 15 items and a couple other things to talk about as well, including. Well, let's just dive right into it. First up, Pixel Ripped 1995 posted on Twitter some brand new gameplay. It says Extreme Gamers Only. BioNight is playable now at your local video store. Mind blown. Full of ultra-realistic 32-bit aliens and marines. You won't want to turn off the lights. Can you handle the graphics this intense? And so it shows off some of the gameplay footage. They're in the store. And this the gameplay looks a lot like Super Metroid, Mega Man X a little bit.
That's what I was thinking.
Unfortunately, it was downloaded from Twitter, and on Twitter they had it done like portrait style instead of landscape. So it's like
pretty much, that's Twitter
well,
style.
You can follow me on Twitter at GodCannon PSVR, and you can see a better look at it. If it's not showing up there, apologies.
Or you can follow Pixel Ripped as well, because you should definitely support those guys.
Well, I'm basically, I retweet everything they do anyway. So
okay, don't follow Pixel Ripped, just follow AJ.
Just follow AJ. Right? He's your one-stop shop.
But no, this looks like one of the games. It looks excellent. They show her using a difference between like a flamethrower. They show Dot using like a charge blast, which is kind of where I got the Mega Man X vibes from. Mega Man X, guys, I love Mega Man X. So I'm so excited for this. And of course, we know this game's coming out in the spring.
Yeah, if you guys haven't played the first Pixel Ripped, Jeremy and I just did a Why We Love episode about it. And man, going back into Pixel Ripped 1989, it's one of those games that once you get inside of again, you're like, oh, you know what? Why aren't we talking about this on every single top 20 debate? Because it used to be in all of those, all those discussions. It used to be on all those older lists, and so giving this team another stab at like creating. Okay, well, we kind of like did that first one really well. Let's see how we do another one. I can't wait to check this out. I think it's going to be really good.
I really like the setting for this one too, because the whole thing is about the nostalgia of playing games back when we were kids, and this kind of shared, excitement that we have to kind of jump back into that feeling. And sitting in a video game store playing the little demo console with those little rubber things attached to the controller so you couldn't steal them,
so awesome.
That I did that all the time when I was a kid, because that was how you figured out if a game was good or not. You didn't have streamers to watch. You didn't have all these previews coming out in video form. You just like sat there and played it.
One thing I did notice in this video too is that it's got these two little kids in the back right that you can see are like in line or at the shelves or something. So, I'm assuming this is gonna, rehash some of those same mechanics where you are kind of trying to keep something going on in the room, trying not to get caught, maybe trying to keep these kids from knocking stuff over while you're playing. Maybe they're your kids in this situation.
God, I hope not. That sounds like Parent Simulator 1995 sounds awful.
I will say, though, I didn't find the original mechanics from Pixel Rip 1989 where you have to distract the teacher and stuff. I didn't find that very distracting or very difficult to deal with. And I think that was something that I really made me enjoy it more, was that I didn't find it as much of a problem. Like, it was easy to deal with those while playing the game, and I could just focus on playing the game. Yeah. How about you guys?
Oh, absolutely. It kept the gimmick working the entire time to be able to interact with the quote unquote real world as you play the video game.
But yeah, so Pixel Ripped spring, cannot wait for this one. All right, where's Gazelle? Because we've got some Alvo updates. Alvo, as anyone who doesn't know, is a multiplayer first-person shooter with like team deathmatch, a couple other different modes. We originally debuted the trailer at the 2019 PSVR Awards show, and they basically have given us some recent updates with this picture that Bryan should be putting on the screen at some point. And it basically shows the loadout customization, and it's got everything from like the primary weapon, a skin for it, an attachment, the sight, a secondary weapon, two different sets of grenades. One looks like you can, both are just tactical, smoke and a flash. They have a perk. So similar to Call of Duty, there's a perk. This one's called Revenge. Not exactly sure what that means, but then there's also kill streaks for three kill streaks, 7 kill streaks, 10 kill streak. And what I also really love is that there's not only 4 slots that you can have your presets for your loadouts, but there's a customizable character as well. The body type, the hat, the mask, the eyewear, the suit. I would love to run around with the dude in a beanie in this game, beard, beanie, all that stuff. But yeah, this reminds me a lot of like, I don't play a lot of Call of Duties, but I'm definitely seeing some Call of Duty like Black Ops, which I was really into at the time, customization.
Yeah, I love that the body type is head 2. I'm like, that seems like a different head, not a different body type. But who knows, man? I guess we'll know more once we get into it.
It's early.
Yeah, it's early.
But I'm really looking forward to this game. We saw this proved my theory when we saw the dog and the turret, that these are likely also kill streaks. So they're pretty much just straight taken from Call of Duty, which I think is a great thing.
Yeah, somebody needs to.
Absolutely. They also showed a remote control car, which also was in that. And, I really liked, Firewall, as everybody knows, is really great. This game will also be aim controller supported. And Shabs over there did a lot of work on Call of Duty games. And even though Firewall is more like a Rainbow Six Siege, you can still feel some of the Call of Duty experience like getting in there. And that was really good. We need stuff like this for PSVR, like really bad. So I'm really psyched for this game. Can't wait.
Yeah. I mean, they've got a lot to prove, but they seem to be making all the right moves, and they've been listening to all the community feedback. So, with any luck, man. The one thing is that they've been saying Q1 for so long. They've been saying open beta Q1, and then later in Q1 they'll get the game out. And I mean, like literally zero word on if they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna make that deadline. That's like
that doesn't sound feasible at all.
Yeah, that's like 40 more days. So they could potentially get the open beta running, but by then. But I highly doubt that we're going to see a full game release by the end of Q1. But I'd again much rather have them take their time and get it right than to just kind of rush it out there.
I wasn't expecting this to be a Q1 release from the get-go, just because of back in October they basically said they just had the netcode done. I think it's best they just take their time and just get this game as polished as possible and deliver a great product to us. And that's going to be a really, really, if they get this right, they're going to be pretty happy with the results, and I think we will too.
Yeah. Also,
just to reiterate though, for people's expectations and stuff, if you're not already familiar with Alvo or you don't have the hype going already, as polished as they can get it is not going to be Firewall. So don't expect something that's going to look and feel the same level of polish as Firewall. It's a much smaller team, much smaller budget. They're not directly backed by Sony, so keep your expectations in check as far as how polished it could eventually be when we get it.
Right. I love watching this trailer that they have here from like 2017, where it's all CG, obviously, especially when you see like the updated gameplay footage that they've sent us that we've shown off doesn't come anywhere near this, right? This is totally CG. They had a 2018 release date, so a lot of things have happened between then and now, but we know full well it's not all about the graphics. So as long as it plays well and it's a lot of fun, it's gonna be fun to get in there and do a little aim competitive shooting with a bunch of other people. We need a new one. Like we played the crap out of D-Day, we played the crap out of Firewall. Firewall obviously plays much different. This seems like a nice happy medium between the two.
Yeah. And in their defense, like every update that they give, it usually ends up looking a little bit more like you see like the textures look a little bit better. Something looks a little bit more glossier, and it's been looking nice. So just keep up the great work, guys. Really, really excited for that one.
Moving on.
Brian.
Yep. Hey.
I owe somebody an apology.
Who's that?
Everybody.
Maria Misharenko. Which, if I said her name wrong, I now owe her 2 apologies.
Double apologies. Yeah.
She's from Synesthetic Echo, the creators of Bizarre Barber, which we talked about on the Every Game Coming 2020 list. Got a little bit of an update from them. Go figure. Belramio, of all people, has been communicating with them on Twitter and showed them our Gamescast where we talked about all those games. And she basically responded to it and said, "How cool, thanks. A lot of useful feedback from the host and the chat, parentheses, except for my Jinkos, again," which I'm assuming somebody in the chat saw her Jinkos and made a comment. But it says, "I wish they had more trust in our gameplay, though, as we have mechanics evolving through all 13 levels. And plus, we'll hope to have a built-in level editor for PSVR." Now, there's something I noticed in this gameplay that she's kind of right about. I was a little dismissive. You guys were pretty excited about this game.
Well, I've been saying for a long time that I don't know why there's no Barber game in VR. Because, like, Job Simulator came out, and I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be fun to just give people funny haircuts, and they come in and they say, "I want this," and you give them the haircut. I was surprised nobody had done that. So it seemed like a perfect fit to me personally. And I was excited to see that somebody actually did it. And it looks crazy as hell as far as a Barber game goes.
They also released a little bit of new footage. And what I noticed is that the original footage I saw where, they do this mixed reality thing, it actually didn't show me the gameplay. That it kind of took away from seeing the gameplay and seeing it in first person. I was watching these where she says there's mechanics through all the levels. I'm seeing the trains coming by, but what really caught my attention was the mines and like dodging the mines, avoiding those. Also, you're trying to get like a close cut and stuff. And it's also got music, which I missed before as well. So I just I had to give them a shout out because I do think this gameplay looks a lot better seeing it from first person. I don't really see the mixed reality one as well as I did this one. So just had to backtrack on that and make a correction here. And really, I'm definitely more excited for this game now than I was before after seeing some clearer footage.
Yeah. Bizarre Barber could go really either way right now. I mean, I think it looks really goofy, but I mean,
you muted, Dave. That's going to be from Professor Lilith with the $5 donation. Says 2 words: living ships. I know. I can't wait. Like I said at the beginning, my ship is cooking. It's cooking right now, and I'm so excited. We're going to talk about No Man's Sky, of course. That amazing update. Pretty good stuff.
Thank you for the tip, Professor Lilith. And that one is from
another one. Yeah.
That one is from Hugh Guyver with the God, I had it. Here we go with the Australian $3 donation Bullet Sorrow Compensation Fund. Max says hi. Cousin Mac Guyver. Love it. We will talk also about Bullet Sorrow later. Yeah. I appreciate all the donations. People like trying to give me the 53 Australian I spent. Is that what it was?
Jesus Christ. That is so ridiculous for what I saw in
insane.
That game.
Painful.
Yeah, we'll talk way
you
more
hurt
about
us,
it.
Brian. You take this so far that you hurt us in the process of hurting yourself.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. I was emo at birth. I'll be emo at death, and I'll be emo all the way in between. So, all right.
But yeah. Final thoughts on Bizarre Barber?
It looks goofy as hell, man, and that music is fun, and I think it's gonna be one of those that everyone's gonna make fun of until they play it, and then they go, this is silly, and this is, like one of the like back in the PS1 era when we used to get like random games from Japan that were just like so off the wall and that would never sell here, but we still somehow got them. Like I don't know, Incredible Crisis. Like, does anybody remember Incredible Crisis? Just like so random. They were
that was the strangest fucking game.
Exactly.
It was really hard too. You had to slam those buttons really, really fast.
Yeah, and there was
bad at it.
And it was so weird that everyone was like, "Oh, they're never going to bring this stateside," and then they did because that was just sort of like the ecosystem we lived in. But
like Seaman was around, like all this shit that you wouldn't expect us to get.
Right.
Yeah.
My final excuse is also because it was like 2.5 hours into the Gamescast that day, and I was feeling groggy. And also, we get so many titles that are like small indie that don't end so well, which we'll get into later as well. And they're just like shallow ports and not very good, and they're very dated. So I was too judgmental. I was too hasty. I was too quick to judge. So just wanted to apologize.
Yeah, this reminds me of those days. I think that's all I was trying to get at. This looks like a Mr. Mosquito title or a Mad Maestro title. And Eidos dropped the Fresh Games label. That was this. It's so cool. I mean, and this isn't like I'm not trying to say this is like a Japanese developer or something, but they're not scared to do something crazy and off the wall. And I really appreciate that. You're welcome, Dave. You're welcome. I just texted both of you.
Oh my God.
All right.
I need to check my email like immediately.
That's right. I love the reaction. I texted you too, AJ. All right.
I didn't get one yet.
What am I doing?
It takes time.
Check your Twitter DMs. All right.
Where's my phone? All right. So moving on.
Oh, Twitter DMs.
My phone's over there. I might go grab it. Twitter DM's fine too.
What's the next story, AJ? Let's keep this thing
next
rolling.
Story. Separation from Recluse Industries was slated to be released next Tuesday. I don't remember anymore. It was the 25th.
It was next week for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, sometime it's 25th. That's got to be Tuesday. Confirmed Tuesday, but it has been delayed. Recluse Industries post on Twitter says separation release date pushed back a week to 03/03/20. I need to change some of the U.S. PlayStation Store assets and want to keep the EU and U.S. releases in sync. Bye. Release date of 2/25. Obviously,
I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I think this is actually a great move. Next week's getting a little bit crowded, and it's probably good for them to separate themselves from some of the other upcoming games. I know it was probably out of necessity, which it sounds like from the description you just read. But this is a game that if it you good that if it launched at the same time as like another game or a couple other games, that it could very well get lost. And I don't think this isn't going to be for everybody, but I do think that this game is probably going to be pretty cool. It looks right up my alley, and I would hate for something to get lost just in the mix, just because we had this huge drought, and then boom, here's a bunch of games all at once, as tends to be what usually happens.
Yeah.
You get an excitement level for separation, Dave?
I think we've talked about it before, but I like the look of it, and I like these kind of Zen-like experiences. I think Eden Tomorrow, this reminds me of Eden Tomorrow in a way where I like the look of this better, because it's not trying to do all these things haphazardly and not really achieving any of them. It is just kind of what it is, and it looks like an exploratory, just kind of like cool environment simulator. There may be more to it than that, and if there is, that would be awesome, but I hope it's subtle mechanics that aren't trying to be, I don't know.
Is my mic still working? I was moving around a little bit.
It works now, yeah.
Okay, cool. Just got your text, by the way. Sorry, I was moving around.
Yeah, frantically tweeting at them now.
No.
Yeah, I think...
Don't do that.
In DMs.
Yeah, I've been talking with Martin over there at Recluse Industries, and yeah, he said he has a couple bugs that he fixed, and he said just like every game, this happened like Catch and Release 2, which also had an update that fixed a couple bugs. Yep. Whenever there's an update, there's bound to be something else that breaks. When you fix one thing, it breaks another. It's just a normal step in coding. I would rather him release a non-bug filled game and have it running smooth and the way he wants it and likes it. And it'll have a better experience for us as well. So no problem with this at all. We can look forward to this March 3rd.
Oh yeah. Not a bad way to start off March. I'm actually looking forward to February being over. February has not been my favorite month so far. Looking forward to a better month next month.
Polish Paul is in the chat.
Why?
Hello, sir. And he says it reminds me of a chilled version of Eden Tomorrow, which I really like. Eden Tomorrow was chill. That is the biggest walking sim.
But it was lame.
It wasn't.
You literally walk to the end of Eden Tomorrow.
There's voice of God came down and told us it was lame.
It was like you walked up.
I say unto you,
you walked
Eden
up to
Tomorrow was not a good game.
Thank you, God. I knew I could count on you.
First and only commandment.
Thou has definitely spoken. You walk up to a like stick or like a log, and it fades out the screen, and like you walk across the thing, and it's just like, come on, man. That game was such a disappointment. Yeah. Looked pretty good though.
Bad, just
looked decent.
Yeah,
but
could have been fun. The phrase of the week could have been fun, but totally half baked.
The VR Grid enjoyed Eden Tomorrow as well.
Well, and this is why I don't. Sorry, guys. This is why I don't watch your channels. I was like, oh, I need to find some people I trust. I don't trust any of you fuckers.
It's okay, guys. I watch your channels. I love you guys.
I'm starting not to trust AJ too. He's like, let me tell you some good things about Eden Tomorrow. I'm like, no way, buddy. No,
none of that. None of that from me. All right, so Throw Anything, quick update on Throw Anything, which came out, what was it, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? Where is time going? Time is flying by, guys.
I'm already shaking my head at this.
Yeah,
because they said to us that we told you guys that they said to us, but
yeah, I know. Throw Anything has decided after much resistance to add a 180-degree turn button to their game. As you guys may or may not remember, this is a game where zombies crawl up buildings and you have to break everything in the room behind you, causing you to physically turn around and grab stuff, which, as you know, when the move bulbs get blocked, you lose tracking. So it made this extremely difficult and really frustrating. But otherwise, there was actually, even though it's a very small, tiny indie game, it was charming and it was fun. And there were certainly glimpses that I enjoyed. So what do you guys think about this 180 button? You think it's going to do the trick?
Here's what I love.
What do you love, Brian?
What I love is that they're not giving us one 180 flip button. They're like, you guys want flip buttons? Here's every button is going to be a flip button.
Every button.
Great. So I got to use the move button to open packages. I got to use the trigger to grab things, and every single button around it is going to be a move button. I was like, a 180 flip button. Like, all right, we get it. You got your point across. They're like, we're giving you what you want in spades. It's like, okay, here's your fucking 4 move, you turn flip buttons, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. It's I'm thrilled that they finally did it, and now I can't wait to play it again. It's supposed to launch early March, right? It's not out yet.
Yeah. Well, no, just as soon as possible, pretty much.
All right. They left some comments on my videos saying that it should be early March, I think.
Okay.
So, I'm really happy about it because I do want to replay this and not be frustrated by the control scheme, but at the same time, like the price point is way off base, man. It's twice as much as it should be.
Kev Gretz in the chat, and he says they better throw that price out the window. $19. Yeah, I do think that's the other thing. This is one half of the way there. I think the 180 button is a big deal to help the game itself, but the price, I mean, come on, almost $20.
Yep.
For a 2-hour game, something like that. Just not no. It's too small.
You have to turn off the game's own sound effects to be able to enjoy it at all.
Yes.
It's like there's
do
a
that
person
as well.
shouting at you. I think we've
No.
discussed this already. No. Every time you pick up something, no, stop it. No, stop it. It's like the whole game is designed around I don't mean to shit on them too much, but which of their designers was like, hey guys, let's make it so every time you do the one action that you're required to do in the game, repeatedly, quickly and consistently, we have an annoying ass person chirping in your ear. Like, I don't know. We should be VR consultants.
Luckily,
I've said this before because I would have told them to ditch that shit immediately. Put in the turn button, $15, $13, $12, something like that.
There is a slider for the NPC volume, so you can turn that basically off if you don't want it. I know it shouldn't be there to begin with, or it should be different dialogue, like different funny things. If you're going to hear somebody say something over and over and over and over and over through the course of a level, it shouldn't be the exact same. No, stop it. No, stop it. No, I was like, I want to throw it out the window. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I'm looking at I'm looking at Believe H3 the Spartan Game Cat in the chat.
Yeah, me too. I just responded to him.
Has anyone caught?
I'm looking at Kev Grit. He's calling me like a sexual predator, and I don't appreciate that.
That's no good at all.
That might be the salmon bait, I believe, for that one. I got distracted and went into the cave, and I've been in the cave for like 3 days trying to catch that goddamn Galvar, and that's been my goal. And then the No Man's Sky thing happened, and I got distracted with that, and then I wanted to get some Beat Saber in, get some workout going, and it's all just snowballing at this point. All right, so last week we touched base a little bit on a new video drop for Paper Beast. Sorry.
I do that too.
And yeah, I know. Well, it's Paper Beasts. Like, it's not one beast, unless like there's a plot twist at the end where you're the Paper Beast, really, and they're actually like animals and stuff. There was a little bit of there was a post, an article post on the PS blog, and it says something, Brian. I remember I had a good chuckle at this because I remember you saying that we know with the sandbox
my laptop. Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can see you too. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think my laptop just fucking died or something. Froze up. You guys all got very strange sounding.
You look like you're doing one of those like weird horror movie documentary things, like Blair Witch Project.
You trying to reset the laptop?
I'm gonna have to restart my laptop, so give me like 5. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
All right, man.
I don't know what happened.
You got it.
No worries. It happens. But anyways, Brian.
I hate when he does this, and now it's like, whatever. That post should have started off in response to Brian Paul without parole. We have shown you the adventure mode, but I don't believe that they have.
Yeah, he does say, yeah. No. They did go into a little bit of detail about like the way you interact from scene to scene, and it changes. But essentially what I wanted to point out here is he says, we shared how the gameplay would work in adventure mode, a 4 to 5 hour experience. It's time to share our trailer for sandbox mode. So they're basically saying that it's a 4 to 5 hour experience for the
I'm showing the trailer for Paper Dolls on accident.
Paper Dolls.
Totally different game. Hold on, let's get the here it is. Sorry.
Brody says found footage of Dave. But yeah. So the 4 to 5 hours experience, which means it's maybe 2 to 3 hours. Possibly could be 4 to 5.
That's the downside. I don't think I've ever heard a length of time from a developer that's been spot on. It's always a couple hours more. So I'm fully expecting this to be a 3-hour game.
But with the addition of this mode and the polish and stuff, they also went into detail about like what all those things they were interacting with, like adding, removing sand, saying that there's 11 total creatures to discover. And you can basically alter the geological elements and land areas and different weather effects and stuff like storms, sandstorms, all these different things. And this mode did seem to get people pretty hyped. And there's a lot of goofy physics stuff. Like you can attach like a gravity capsule to some of these animals and like watch them levitate. That's what that like umbrella looking thing is. So. Okay. People that love messing around with like animals and messing with physics, the physics are going to be a big highlight of this game, I believe.
Yeah. Do we have a release date for this thing?
No, it's originally was rumored for spring, just like a lot of other games. So yeah. I have a feeling this one's closer though. I have a feeling this one could be a next monther.
Cool. Yeah, I'm totally down for that. All right, let's see if Dave's actually coming back. We got we got something happening here.
Dave encounters.
Something.
Later, post ball.
See you, Bob.
You scarred Duran fan by playing the Paper Dolls.
Dude, I like Paper Dolls. I'm not gonna hide my love for that game. That is, it's super cheap. It's super creepy. The controls suck. Dave's gone again.
It is not good.
I tried. The controls suck, and it is super super dark. But man, once you get used to all of those things, there's quite a lengthy horror game there.
All right, so we've got some new footage to show off. Brian, you received this footage earlier. It's from our good friend over there at Strange Games Studio. Shout out to Reg. We've got some footage of the Pro Patch that's going to be coming, and this Pro Patch is the PS4 Pro. Let's see those. Yeah, the videos are for the actual Pro Patch. The base unit will get the textures of the guns, the weapons, the blood, etc. But the Pro Patch gets anti-aliasing, post-processing effects, and most important, shadows.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know who's playing D-Day like every single day and is going to really appreciate all the differences here.
Son,
fist bump to you. But it's been a while since I played, honestly. I'm not going to lie. But looking at this footage, it's like it's a drastic improvement. Like all the textures that are on the ground, every tree has like this bark textures, and everything looks a little crisper and clearer, a little bit more colorful. Dave, welcome back.
Hey, how do I sound? How do I look?
Oh, you look stunning as always.
Look good,
friend.
sound good.
Yeah. So I mean, there's this. It just seems to have. It seems like they Reggie pushed the saturation on the colors up a bit. And just, I don't know, man. It just looks more polished, which is exactly obviously what they were going for. I think it has a really nice look to it.
Yeah, Decepticon says it looks way better. I agree.
Decepticon, the fourth member of the show.
Yes, the secret fourth member that we hide. Guy Son says hopefully the patch comes out next week. It is supposed to be by the end of February is what they're aiming for. So we could get that. VR Grid tends to agree. Everybody seems to be digging this, man. And I think having a more realistic look in any World War game is important. Before it was more blocky and stuff. But it was always about the gameplay for this game. But I think this look will it should please a lot of people, hopefully.
Yeah, man, the shadows that that are being shown off right here in this footage are pretty awesome. It's like a lamppost and stuff, kind of like casting shadows on walls behind it, and it's subtle things like that that really make a difference. And yeah, it's all about the gameplay, but it's always nice when something looks kind of pretty too.
Oh yeah,
it's hard to even really put a finger on exactly every little thing that's changed, but you just look at it and you're like, oh wait, that looks way better than it used to.
Reggie did send along some patch notes though, so we do have some of the more subtle changes.
Shall we take a look?
Yeah, we shall. I sent them to you.
The one I'm excited about. Yeah, the one I'm most excited about is he's added this new thing where you can switch to a med kit. Did you guys talk about this already?
Not yet.
No.
Take it away, Dave.
Okay, so in the game already, currently, it's kind of a pain in the ass to use a med kit. You have to go through your inventory, put it on the ground, pick it up off the ground, and use it. And when you need a med kit, that's never going to happen. You're just going to get shot, and you'll be dead. Now, you can just swap over to it and use it like a normal item in a normal game. So I think that's going to be a huge gameplay, like quality of life improvement. I'm looking forward to that a lot because I've never really successfully used a med kit, and I think I'll be able to now. So,
I think I thought I used to just run into the med kits.
Well, if they're sitting on the ground, if you need one at a time, yeah.
Dave, I think your microphone just switched. Yeah.
Oh, am I yelling?
No, your mic input
switched.
Mic
changed.
Okay, give me 1 sec.
No problem. Did it go back to it?
I don't know. It sounds like it's jumping back and forth.
So let's see. What were the the Lewis and the grease gun have been updated. The character loadout screen.
Testing.
Just a ton of background noise, which we didn't hear before. Otherwise,
that's weird. God damn it! I don't know what's going on? Sorry.
No worries. It says we're also working on the character loadout screen, but depending on how complex it is, it may not make it in. May just delay the update. Oh, so it could get delayed, but they're shooting for around 229 is which will mark the 1 year anniversary.
Wow.
Which is actually technically 226.
Whatever.
Where are you keeping up? You guys got your notes? Taking notes?
You know, you could have just lied and been like 1 year today, and everybody would have been like, awesome. No one would have done any research on this.
So it should be coming out on the anniversary.
Yeah, and then he does add that crossplay with PCs coming and hopefully arrive in March. That is kind of impressive. Like, the multiplayer aspect of D-Day alone was one of the most impressive parts of D-Day, just having 16v16 going on, and then now to have cross-platform is pretty, like, really impressive for such a small indie title.
Absolutely.
Beard of Power 666 says, Beard of Power says, do you think if Honor and Duty had AAA polish, it would have been contender for best VR game? I mean, from a technical standpoint, it is possible.
What kind of AAA polish are we talking about is the question.
But yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're talking about.
Think about it like this. Do I sound okay now?
And also,
you sound
real
like
quick,
a book on tape.
Noah Person, the pro patch, the update is for the base PS4 as well, but there's more features that are being updated on the Pro. But you will get features updated on the texture updates on the base PS4.
Okay, so the interesting thing to me is that if you think about AAA polish, that's one thing. That's graphics, that's UI, that's stuff like that.
Right.
But if you think about if Reggie had a AAA team working under him, and if he was the game director on a thing like this that had a firewall budget, if or when, whatever happens. But what I'm saying is, like, it's not just the look and feel. This game could be, if he had like a full-on team of really talented developers and he was the ideas guy, I think this could be incredible. And at some point in the future, if Strange Games grows, I would expect more like a AA kind of game at first. But he's got the ideas, man, and he's willing to throw everything at the wall and see what works. Like, use a name controller and a move controller at the same time. Why the hell not? Right. Like, no one else has done it, but.
Yeah, he does things so. He just makes it look easy, right? That everybody complains about. Oh, we couldn't get multiplayer in because performance issues. Oh, we didn't get blinders and stuff removed because of whatever, because motion sickness. Oh, we couldn't get support for these controllers until the internet jumped down our throats. And he just, like, day one is just like, yeah, sure, just presses a magic button and it's all there. Pretty impressive stuff, man.
Yeah. definitely teaching other developers how it's done. And
he needs to start teaching them how to do it.
And hopefully, I haven't had a chat with Reggie about how the game is selling, but hopefully it's selling well, because these are the kind of developers we want to support. Vitruvius seem to be the superstars of this generation, where they're like, they've already released 2 games, and the second one is drastically better than the first one, and
right.
This is what you want to see. And I really, really hope that that Strange Games is one of those devs moving forward, that their next game is even better than this one, and just onwards and upwards. And we're gonna have all these like pretty much dedicated PSVR developers that didn't exist a generation ago, which I absolutely love.
The VR Grid says, yeah, but no nav controller support.
Don't let Reggie hear you say that, because he's going to start working on nav support. If you say some shit like that.
There will be nav support.
I've never understood that argument. Never.
All right.
It was a joke, not an argument, I think.
No. But he's making fun of the argument, I think, right? Or maybe I have no idea what's going on.
I mean, it's barely an argument, because like there's so many games that don't have nav support. Only, 2 games have nav support?
Golem and Dream Match Tennis.
Which is such a weird matchup, if you think about it.
But if you think about
Where's
it, they're
Dream
both
Match
games that
Golem
only require
Tennis?
one hand to be motion tracked. And so
That's true.
What other games are you only using one hand in motion tracking?
All those anime lady games.
Oh, I want both hands in the game for those.
All right. Looking forward to Dream Match Golem Tennis.
Dream Match Golem Tennis. All right, what's up next on the docket, AJ?
All right. So next up, we've got a little bit of things to talk about with Dreams and the PSVR support. This comes via videogamechronicle.com. They had an interview with Mark Healy, and basically they did talk about, just about the history of the game, how long they've been working on it. And they talked about the time scale for certain things. And they said, are you anticipating support for the game similar length as the time it took to develop? And he responded saying, absolutely, as long as it gets some traction and Sony are behind us, which I think they certainly are. It seems like a lot of people are behind Dreams right now. It is pretty incredible, and something that everybody needs to check out, especially if it gets VR support. Then he says, we treat it as a platform. This isn't like we've made a game. What are we going to do next? Releasing it is just one stop along the road, really. We want to carry on supporting it. We're currently working on VR, which we already knew about. So we're going to do a VR update with VR content. Interested to see what this is specifically. We still have to wait. And they did also ask about multiplayer. And they said that's probably the next thing after, I'd say. I mean, it always takes with a pinch of salt, because we've got a community now. We're trying to respond to them as much as possible. So sometimes they might have a bigger demand, but they're currently VR and multiplayer online, as in the ability to make multiplayer online games. So essentially what he's saying here is that they have, and we did hear them say before, that they have a couple things in the pipeline. And this basically just was saying that VR is basically the next big update to come to this game, and then possibly multiplayer. So not only could this game expand with some good VR, but be cool to be able to make multiplayer VR games as well, don't you think?
Yeah. The thing for me is I really hope they do something like, so with the full release of Dreams, they put out this kind of a campaign mode called Arts Dream that Media Molecule created themselves to make sure that you got a good idea of what this thing's capable of. We can make a game that's 2 to 3 hours with all these different parts, that is polished and fun to play. Having said that, I didn't play it yet. I just played all the weird little creations that people made. But having played those weird little creations, I really hope that when VR drops, Media Molecule has their own VR campaign ready to go. Because if I hop in on day one of VR support and I saw a lot of the stuff that I see right now on day one wide Dreams release as the trending stuff, I would be kind of like, if there's nothing meatier here, this is just sort of a curiosity for now. Because a lot of besides the Media Molecule campaign, Arts Dream thing, everything is just like a little tiny kind of snippet of something, or a work in progress, or kind of a tech demo. And I love the possibilities there, but it's like, once you get in, I was a little unsatisfied with how much cool stuff there was, or engaging stuff to do. And so what I think they really need is something out of the gate that is really compelling in VR, that they did or they got somebody to do that shows off like, hey, this is what you could do.
Right.
And then it'll take like a year or two before anybody else does that. But I think we're at this weird point where it's like we haven't seen what it can do yet.
Right.
Even though you can buy it and it's fully available, it's not early access or anything anymore. Like it still feels like it's baking in the oven.
Yeah, but you can see how much progress it's made in such a short amount of time. It's pretty amazing. Bryan, I got to ask real quick. Are you playing the footage?
Not yet. I'm just playing different trailers I have.
Okay, I do want to show off some footage real quick as well. But this could possibly be a first glimpse at Dream's PSVR like concept art. There is a little bit of video footage in there as well, but when you download the game, there's a separate sometimes games come with like the soundtrack of whatever. And then this one also came with the art of Dreams. So in there, I caught this via my buddy on Twitter, Max Ledroom, who tweeted about this. But there, in one of the things, the Dream Arts world, there's a little video segment that you can click on, and it shows like some screenshots and some gameplay, and it has the Move controller in it. To me, this seems like possible VR footage. Maybe we would see some Art's Dream version, because that is like the main campaign, or one of the Media Molecule creations. I think the most popular one currently. Really good too. It just shows off, like Dave was saying, it shows off the different ways you can do gameplay, camera angles, music, interactive stuff. So. Yeah, take a look at this footage and tell me what you guys think, if you think this is VR footage or something else. But to me, it definitely looks like some VR footage.
So I'm going to ask a question.
Well, so it's worth noting that you can also play flat screen games with the moves in Dreams.
So it is possible.
But the question I have is, when you play in Dreams, do you see your move, like with move controllers, do you see the move controllers in game?
Wouldn't that be kind of weird to have the move in your hand and look down and see it, and then also see it in the game on the screen?
I don't know. I have no idea. Actually, Dave, hit that for me. Yes! This comes from, that was really short. Now let's ride the game feline with $5 donation saying, you guys are the best. Here's some money.
Oh, you're the best.
And nice little heart to go on with it. Send a heart right back at you. Now let's ride the game feline. Yeah. So yeah, I pictured there just be like pointers when you use the move controllers in Dreams. You're pointing at the screen. You don't actually see the move controllers on the screen, and you're pointing. I haven't actually done that myself, so I don't know the answer to that. And so if you're seeing them in these images, in these stills, it makes me think you're looking down and there they are in game. And
so Void is saying in the flat mode you don't see the move controllers. So I guess you're 100% right there. You see the imps. Okay, so everybody's saying this is VR footage. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to say that's 100% confirmed, but let's just say it.
I think it looks pretty good. Though.
I think it's safe to say. But no. What's up, Mr. Sonic? But yeah, there's a little bit. If you guys catch a little bit of footage of like that trippy stuff, there's like the eyeball monster thing floating by. Man, just imagine how good that could look in VR. I want this game to have mega VR support, man. I really do. It could be just this game could take the place of so many of these bad shovelware games that we don't even need, and we could just have this and just Dreams, and then we'll have Dreams, and then we'll wait for our solid AA, AAA, even just good indie games as well.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think what Dreams does is it gives you a way to shuffle through a lot of shovelware and then find a few good things for free once you've bought it indefinitely. So for years, we'll be able to go through anything that people made. And it's like, you might not have that impulse to go out on the store and buy some shovelware if you can play some shovelware on Dreams and then, move along and find something good. I know this doesn't sound very, promising, I guess, but I don't mean to come off negative about it. But it is going to be a while before we get some really good stuff out of this.
I want to address something that JG Drifted Harbor said in the chat. He said, I bet money Sony will force every developer to put every game on both PS4 and PS5, even if it runs like crap on the PS4. I think Sony might have learned a hard lesson with the PlayStation 4 Pro that we didn't get a lot of VR games because they weren't capable of running on the original PS4. And I think this is a situation that Xbox is unfortunately putting themselves in next generation by saying every game that comes out is going to be playable on the current Xbox and your Xbox One Series X. Like, that's a very, very scary position to put yourself in. So I really think that Sony's learned from their mistakes and learning from other people's mistakes. I really don't think that's going to be the case at all. I really think when PS5 games come out for VR, they're going to say, holy crap, there is no way this could run on PlayStation 4, because PlayStation 4 is just not equipped to handle some of the more technically I don't want to say AAA, but technically better looking games, I suppose you want to say. So that's I really don't think we have to worry about that at all. I think even Sony's ready for the next generation and to slowly put PS4 behind them. That being said, I don't think we're going to get full PlayStation VR support until PlayStation 5 on Dreams.
Oh, it's coming before then.
No. It's coming before then. I think we could get it in the next month or so, because they keep saying very soon. It's almost here.
Very soon. They keep hinting at it.
Yeah, they're saying it's out of all the things we're working on for Dreams. Ooh. It is. I want to put PT up on the screen.
I know. I just saw Voidcat say
Voidcat
PT
comment. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to put that up on the screen so you guys can see PT in Dreams.
Played PT Reinhorst's playable teaser. It was a teaser for Silent Hills back in the day, made by Hideo Kojima.
The game we're never going to get.
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
It got scrapped because of their fallout between Konami and Hideo Kojima. But it was just like an hour long or something, and it was terrifying. And the remake, the state of the remake, I like to call them Dreamakes now. Can we coin that?
You can call that.
Has anybody started calling
it? I think someone has already done it.
You think somebody's already made it Dreamake? Yeah. Well, I thought of it myself, so I'll just pretend like I coined it. I'm so clever, guys.
Yeah, you're incredibly clever. Hey, can everybody wish Miles Dyer a happy birthday real quick? It was a couple days ago, but
happy birthday, Miles!
Happy birthday, Miles!
Dude, how is Dreams only $40? That's my question. The thing's like the most powerful toolkit we've ever seen. It creates things it gives you the ability to create things. It comes with tons of stuff. There's so many creations out there from user generated content, and it's $40. I'm totally shocked that they could be charging $60 for this, and I think just as many people would have bought it. This game's been in development for 8 years. I can only imagine that Sony has so much money put into Media Molecule at this point that I don't know why they're not charging $60 for this. I'm really happy to see they're trying to get into as many hands as possible. But holy crap, man, $40.
It would be great for them if this sticks around for a while and they keep expanding it and it's on PS5, just, even better. People have already talked about, if you make a really good game, could you license out the engine and release it in the PSN store separately? And if they go that route and they allow you, say it's like Unity is free. You don't have to pay anybody for Unity. But if you release a game with it, then you owe them some money.
Yeah.
And if they do it that way and it's around for years and years and years and people can create like actual full-fledged games worth money in this thing, that would make them a lot of income, I think. Just licensing that stuff out.
Yeah.
So maybe they're looking at it that way, like sell it cheap and then on the back end we make some cash,
Yeah, that would
Somebody had commented too about the peripheral support on the viewer takeover that we did earlier this week, and said like, what if you could make like games using the aim in that? Like, if you could have aim support for that, man, we got to make sure that once we see what kind of VR support they have, if there is like functional move support, we have to be vocal about getting aim support. Moves and aim.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Dreams is amazing, but we are patiently waiting for the next thing for Media Molecule to tell us. We're just waiting patiently for them to say that the update's here and here's what it consists of. Until then, I'm trying not to get too excited because I feel like I might get my hopes up a little too much. I think it could very possibly be a whole separate side of Dreams, where you say only things that are created in VR can be playable in VR. I think David mentioned, like really limiting the amount of space that's available, or something along those lines, because obviously it's going to require twice as much processing power to render that image twice in the VR headset. So any of these things are a possibility, and until we hear something concrete, I'm trying not to get excited.
We're definitely getting some kind of thing. I mean, they asked about PS5 support as well on Video Game Chronicle, and he says obviously at the moment we're focused on PS4, and I would actually hope that it extends to the life, or extends the life of the PS4. To be honest with you, then maybe with other companies start making games for it, the community will carry on making games for it. But if it's as successful as we hope it is, then it's an obvious progression, end quote.
Well, I did a breaking news report or a PSVR this week or something where I talked about their quote where they said it's up and running on PS5. So they have a PS5 version of Dreams running already. So I would expect that right around
They are
launch.
backwards compatible too. So
obviously, also true.
Yeah, not entirely sure if it's probably not like a revamped version. They just released the game. So can you hear me, Dave?
I'll hit you.
And that's going to be Mako XL with the $2 Canadian. Says Rush and Shot GC Davy Station. I don't have anything.
Oh, hey,
with
look.
me. I don't drink while I do this show, or
we got another one. Joe
other record thing. But I will take one in the future for you.
I'll take a shot of coffee.
Should I take one?
Hold on, I'm taking a shot of coffee. Are you going to take a shot, Dave?
I'll have to step away for a second, but I could.
All right,
yeah.
Step away, get your shot, and then we'll
tiny bit of fireball.
I do have to say real quick. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
I do have to say real quick that Mako, it was really fun. Good to have you back, and it was fun playing Wipeout, a Mega Collection, and buy Rush, man. Figure out how to buy games on the PlayStation Store and buy Rush so we can play that. But it was fun playing Wipeout in the meantime. Had good times.
Figure out how to buy games.
He was struggling a little bit.
I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. Thank you very much for the donation, Mako or Mako XL. I've been saying Mako. You've been saying Mako.
I say Mako.
Right.
Mako.
All right. So as we go into this next one, Mako, I guess I'm doing this for you.
Okay.
Here you go.
And then hit.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Yeah, one of you guys want this one?
I got it. This is from Joe Grover saying, with $20 donation, dude, fucking hooking it up. Thank you so much. He says,
Joe Grover's the man.
He's one of the men.
Joe Grover.
Certainly one of the men keeping this channel running. He said, not to be negative. If people don't know what they are doing or visual safety features aren't built in somehow, VR and Dreams will hurt. There are tons of things to think about in making a proper VR game. A little concerned.
It's funny that he mentioned that. I'm going to let you guys get your piece on this, but while you guys were talking and stuff, I was literally sitting here daydreaming. Like, I want to make like a VR legs tester or like a motion sickness simulator and just like some kind of awful. I know I'm a horrible person, but I was just thinking like, how could I make a torture device for people that are like sensitive?
I like this idea.
What's wrong with you? AJ.
Maybe that's how you get stronger, man. That's how you get.
No,
Yeah,
that's not right.
I don't know. I don't
honestly,
have motion sickness, so I don't know.
This is a really good concept that I've never thought of before, or a really interesting concept, I guess, because if you allow people to develop their own, I mean, there are legitimate indie studios who deliver stuff that is nausea-inducing, terrible comfort options, locomotion sucks, everything sucks. So, like, if it's just one dude in his bedroom, there could be a lot of really bad. There will be a lot of really bad VR experiences. That's all I can say. I remember when I had an Oculus developers kit, everybody was just fucking around with creating stuff in Unity and trying to see what they could do. And there were things that sounded awesome, like exploring the Studio Ghibli movie, like, it's a little scene from, Howl's Moving Castle or something like that. But it was so poorly made and so poorly rendered, and it ran like shit, and it was just nausea-inducing, and I had to leave. I had to quit. Even though it was like a 3-minute experience, I was like, fuck this thing. So if there's a chance that might happen in Dreams, that could be a big problem. But I don't know what they're doing QA-wise to ensure that, like, it runs properly It's got the options it needs.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a system level thing, like an OS kind of, where like you can't get something to even be put on the store, or not store, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just took a shot. You guys talk.
I mean, the Mario Maker series, right? You can't publish a level in a Mario Maker level without completing it yourself first, right?
That's true. That's actually a really good point.
And so if there's any VR games that these people are making, then like hopefully they have this way to make it so that they have to get through it first to publish it. That won't help. I know you can do so many things in Dreams. You could do so many things in Little Big Planet. I remember people making movies in Little Big Planet, right?
Oh, there's so many like short films in Dreams.
Right, so you could just take the headset off and like let it play, and then be like, okay, I finished it, publish. So it sounds like some simple workarounds, but I mean, I think that the community is really good at rating things and commenting and making sure that maybe there'll be warnings everywhere for things that have motion sickness problems.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of worried about the community size right now, because this game, I've seen articles and I agree with them that this is a crazy awesome thing that they've released with little to no fanfare. Like on the main PSN store page on your PS4 or on the computer, like it's not up at the front. They're not telling you what it is. They're not putting out a bunch of ads about it. It's sort of like almost under the radar. And so I'll see stuff that is like listed as the most popular, like trending, whatever. And there's like 3 people playing it right now. And it's got like 60 likes. And it's like, that seems like it should be higher. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be people out there somewhere. But I don't know. Hopefully it just builds like a snowball. I don't know. What are you guys laughing at me?
I just got to say, the chat really approves of my VR torture device.
Yeah, they really want you to.
They really
fuck
approve
them
of it. Everyone is saying how good of an idea it is, and they love it.
Good. What's happening over there?
You get out of my home!
There we go.
That is Mako XL with another Canadian 5 donation. Says another Dave Station shot. Mako,
I don't know if I should, man. We're only an hour in.
Right?
You leave our Dave alone. We got a little bit to go, Mako.
Yeah. Well, Dave, you might want to hold that shot off for another 20 minutes or so.
I'll hold off.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. But he will
not telling you what to do.
I'm already rambling, I assume.
All right. So, you guys ready to move on with this?
I'm ready to move on with this. Absolutely.
From this. We don't like rumors, but we like to chit chat about patents a little bit, don't we? There's a new patent that released, and it just we're not going to go too deep in this because, as you know, disclaimer: patents are just speculatory content to discuss and dissect. But there are a few key things I wanted to point out in this. The main significance of this latest patent, it says the latest. This is from PlayStation Lifestyle. The latest evidence to show Sony next generation technology is a new PlayStation VR controller patent that casts aside the ball-ended moves for something more like the Valve Index or Vive Pro controllers. Sony filed the patent back in August 2018, and it was published on the 13th of this month. The significance, the technology that they're talking about is the finger tracking. There's sensors for being able to, tell where your fingers are, and with that, I think the most significant thing I see in this thing is the joystick. The joystick is definitely the most important part, the thing that we want to see. Of course, the inside out tracking. But I got to say, in terms of gameplay, this is a cool feature. But finger tracking of the motion and stuff is cool, but it's not like anything that. It's cool for immersion. It's a cool immersion feature, but it's not anything that's going to affect gameplay for me. Like the hand tracking stuff, I think it's great. I think it's cool. But, being able to do a yo-yo with hand tracking in VR is pointless to me. I can buy a freaking yo-yo and do that myself. And if you're handicapped or disabled, you can't use hand tracking to do that anyway. So, to me, it's a very small tech demo-y kind of thing. It's cool. It's not going to make a game good. It's my most important feature in a game like Blood and Truth, being able to.
I think what people don't think about when they're talking about finger tracking is that unless you're really what the Quest has right now with finger tracking is no controller at all. It's just literally tracking your fingers.
Right.
And without any kind of tactile like feedback or the feeling of gripping onto something, that's not that satisfying because your fingers are just sort of floating in the air and you grab a gun maybe, but you're not holding a gun and you're not really pulling a trigger. But there is stuff that I've heard about, like there's this app where you sit down in front of a piano and it maps the piano out and it shows you where to play by tracking your fingers. Mm-hmm. And that's awesome. That's really cool. But I don't see that as being a PlayStation type of application. No. That's a PC or a Quest or something like that. Side quest, it's not. In games, finger tracking can be useful, but it's not the real deal. Like it doesn't. It's not going to go the whole way. You're still not holding a thing in your hand. So
I think it's exactly. It's a cool feature, but it's just I don't know. Larry Langer disagrees with me, which hurts with that race stance avatar disagreeing with me. He says
hand tracking is part and parcel
of where VR needs to go. Yeah. I think it's a feature that would be cool to have, but I don't think it just doesn't. I don't know. It's too like the problem is too. How solid is this finger tracking? I
also want to differentiate. I want to differentiate between hand tracking and finger tracking because like hand tracking is one thing. That's what I was just talking about.
Right.
Finger tracking does add something. I think a certain like je ne sais quoi, where it's like, oh my god, everyone wants me to take this fucking shot. We've had 2 people comment or fucking $15 towards me taking.
Let's tackle these tips for Dave's shot.
Okay, fine. All right, the first one.
This Mako XL with a $10 Canadian. $10 Canadian.
He did that by himself.
Saying $10 for cancer research and a Dave Station shot. Thank you very much, Mako XL, for the generous donation.
And then
and then Joe Grover with another donation, $5, saying shot. Okay, yeah, you guys get the idea. Lots of shots.
All right. We're only an hour in.
This is called peer pressure, Dave, and you do not have to succumb to it.
Peer pressure. Have you guys ever seen the show Review? If not, I encourage everyone in the audience and on this hosting squad to go watch the show Review by Comedy Central. The thing I'm referencing is in the first episode, AJ, Don't Slow Me Down. I'm about to take a shot. It's an incredibly hilarious show. Okay, here we go.
So I agree that it's a cool feature. Again, they said, it's really cool to see your fingers wiggle, individual fingers for interaction. That's true. But there's 2 problems I have with this. Number one, how many developers are going to struggle to even like make this a good feature and something like worth like their time and effort in the game? Number 2, how well can this track your fingers? I mean, this thing as this Valve Index thing, how well does it track your fingers? How precise is it?
No, it's pretty
if it's a button, I would be like, button you press, it's simple. But like an infrared or some kind of like laser tracking to me just seems finicky. Like it seems like it wouldn't be ready yet.
It's unnecessary for now, I think. And also
maybe in
like
the future,
there are certain types of finger tracking, like on the Oculus Quest controllers. If you rest your forefinger on something or your thumb on something, your hand reacts in the game. And it's sort of like a light haptic, it knows you're touching it, but not pressing it. And to me, that's way better, way more satisfying than just having some laser beams like track my fingers around. Because I'm resting my finger on something in the game. I'm making a hand. Like, I don't know. I think that just like a set of buttons that respond to when you're resting upon them or pressing a little bit or whatever would be a lot more. It gives you that tactile feeling that you want.
But that's why we don't.
You got to take an espresso shot. That's for you.
I'll take a big sip of coffee. How about that?
And it's just like throwing stuff in VR gets solved with individual. I have a hard time believing that, man. I think better tracking and better recording of movement. Does. I don't think your fingers being tracked isn't going to affect how well something gets thrown.
Guys. Vixie says you are using dildos with glowing balls on top of them, but index knuckles are finicky. Okay, boomer. And
I thought we were done with the
totally
okay
agree.
boomer thing. I can't believe somebody's
Yeah,
still saying
it's
that.
a little last
Oh,
year.
Yeah.
when I said okay, boomer, my phone thought I was talking to it. Now it's trying to do stuff.
Nice.
And now it's Googling all this for me. Get out of here.
I just, I'm hearing this, like I said, I think it's a cool feature, but, I think it probably needs more time, and it's just not a game changer for me. I don't know.
We got
a button. Go ahead.
Because these are patents that are not final designs.
Yeah,
and
these are also not
and on
final
top of that, I don't expect to see PSVR 2 or these controllers for 2 more years. So, like that, will we have a need for finger tracking in 2 years? I mean, fucking of course.
It could definitely. I agree that it could absolutely add to the immersion. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just don't see PSVR 2 launching until a year after PlayStation 5. I've circled back around, and I think that's where we're at on it. I think PS5 is going to be great for our current headset, and that's why all these patents are just patents, because they are not ready to show off anything. Nothing is set in stone. But this is
I mean,
fun
once again,
conversation, though.
speculating, it's not my favorite thing, but we'll know at some point, guys, in the future, before you even can imagine. It's gonna be 2 years from now, and you'll be like, what did I do with my life? But you'll think to yourself, even though I didn't do anything cool with my life, I know what the new controllers are for the PSVR 2, and then you can feel satisfied about something.
Yeah, and I don't expect the controllers to look like this either. I expect Sony to have some nice, smoother looking.
Oh.
These look like Pez dispensers.
Yeah, they'll be super ergonomic, man. Sony's never made anything that doesn't feel super comfortable.
That's good.
All right, but yeah, just wanted to touch base on this, and yeah, it's just a patent, so we'll see. All we know is that they've been experimenting with this technology, finger sensors, inside out, outside in tracking. Like I said, the biggest relief to me here is seeing joysticks, which we absolutely, if they don't add joysticks next gen, which would be crazy. But it's good to see that they are paying attention to the other headsets and stuff, and experimenting with their own version of it. So we'll see. But all right. So in other news, Ubisoft, as per Upload VR, is hiring for an unannounced AAA VR project. They recently spoke to one of the Ubisoft spokesperson, and they said they issued us with the following statement, quote, "We are working on the next VR escape room for 2020, as well as a new AAA VR project for which we are currently hiring." So basically, Ubisoft was hiring for a new AAA project, and this to me has Assassin's Creed written all over it.
Yeah, what was the first part of that quote before he said "and also"?
Also said the next escape room for 2020. So they're working on 2 games.
Yeah, so I've already heard about this Assassin's Creed escape room. It's one of those things you have to go to like a VR arcade to check out. And have any of you guys been to a VR arcade yet? I've been kind of thinking about this because Orlando has one, but like the premium games that you're supposed to spend like $15 for 30 minutes to play are like Richie Splank experience and shit like that. And it's sort of like, having seen a lot of VR, I'm like, you guys don't have Asgard's Wrath. I can't try that. You don't have like Stormlands. Like there's nothing beyond what we have on PSVR that's like super exciting at a lot of these places. But Assassin's Creed is going there. That's where it's going. Yeah. That's the escape room. So you're going to be able to pay like $45 to be in an Assassin's Creed VR thing for like an hour. And people complain about VR prices anyways, but like, I don't know.
What's So that's kind of irrelevant, right? Because there's been a lot of things that are exclusive to VR arcades or rooms that utilize VR, however you want to put it. But then they're going to take one of their AAA franchises. This is the word, right? One of their existing AAA franchises and create a VR title out of it. Is that what we're hearing?
Yes. Existing AAA, and they're not making a AAA game for the arcade, I don't think. Right. I mean, even though I mean, it'll be polished and it's running on, VR arcade high-end PCs. Kev Gret and a couple people else, they want us to give some love to Splinter Cell.
Be amazing. That would be amazing.
But wasn't Splinter? Yeah, I don't know.
An actual good stealth game in VR. I'm looking at US by one would be incredible. And honestly, games
And
like
Splinter Cell's isn't Splinter Cell a exclusive for Xbox, and they don't have VR? So doesn't that lean more towards Assassin's Creed, or is it not exclusive?
I mean, if it's exclusive, I don't know anything about it. I haven't played a 2D game in like 3.5 years.
Yeah,
but I mean, it was never exclusive before this generation. I'll say that. So what AAA game are we expecting? Obviously, Splinter Cell would be a great choice. Stealth games work great in VR.
Stealth is so good when it's done right.
And when we've done, Home Sweet Home was pretty good. That was a good stealth game. Espire 1 had its moments. They're saying, hey, here's a concept that if executed properly could have been good.
What were the moments?
Climbing a wall was cool.
He didn't like the climbing. I thought like some of the
walls.
challenges. I thought some of the challenges in Espire were good. Two of them, to be in fact, I can remember specifically two. There was a lot of cool features that the suit had, like sneaking around and stuff, using cameras to look around corners. There were good ideas in that game.
It just
was not a good game, and yeah. But the few tiny glimpses it showed us, it's like, yeah, you could see why this would be really cool. And it basically was a complete ripoff of Metal Gear Solid is when it was cool.
Fuck you, get out of here!
That's going to be Mako XL with Canadian $20 donations. Says, awesome work, boys. Keep it up. Appreciate it. No problem, Mako.
Thank you, man. So very much appreciated. Absolutely. Meow, meow, meow.
But yeah,
meow, meow,
my
meow.
money is 110% on Assassin's Creed. Being able to climb around, do all that stuff, stealth. It's so many good things working for it.
Climbing in VR is great, man.
And there's no Assassin's Creed that's
be
announced right now either.
Oh, there'll be one next year. You know it. It's going to be
maybe.
in like ancient Sweden or something. Who knows?
I really think this is going to be a PS5 title. I do not think that they are going to.
Oh yeah.
The interesting thing to me is like Ubisoft has been in VR.
Yeah.
But
Space
mostly
Junkies.
Space Junkies,
Flight,
Bridge Crew, Eagle Flight.
Werewolves Within.
But those games are sort of like when you think about what an Assassin's Creed would have to be in VR, those are all like experiments, and Assassin's Creed would have to be something substantial.
Right.
And like those games are great, but the best ones of them, like Werewolves and Star Trek and Eagle Flight, it's pretty simple. I mean, you're just sitting somewhere, or you're turning your head to move, or you're doing this or that. And it's not like there's a whole lot of depth beyond just what you make with other people or how much you enjoy it yourself. So Assassin's Creed has a big name. It would have to be some kind of like experience, I think, to start with.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
that might not.
Transference is Ubisoft. Ooh, great Tantrum is a smart guy. Transference is Ubisoft.
I think
It's
Transference
really,
was Spectre.
maybe published by Ubisoft.
Yeah, Spectre Vision. Elijah Wood's
Spectre Vision is way different than Ubisoft.
Brian, what were
Spectre
you gonna
Vision is fucking awesome.
Well, I think Dave was kind of saying it would have to be sort of an experience to get the ball rolling. But I think that's what all these games have been so far. Is Ubisoft testing the waters and figuring out what works and what doesn't. We just listed 5 games right off the bat that they've published, and most of them they developed. I think they have figured a lot of stuff out over the course of the last few years, and they were a huge supporter of VR from the get-go. So now that they've done their thing, I think they've kind of got this all worked out, and I think we could definitely see a Cloak Reaper game says Prince of Persia, right?
Yeah. Oh, that would be another good one. Yeah.
Right. Oh, actually, he was talking about the escape room, but
Yeah,
still,
actually, for it, the escape room is not Assassin's Creed; it's Prince of Persia.
Okay.
They already have Assassin's Creed styled experiences, but the new one they're working on is Prince of Persia.
But that could totally work, right? Like that could totally work in a VR game. Sirento proves to us that you can do wall running and double jumping and flipping and doing all this stuff. And so I'm sure Ubisoft is taking all of these things as examples and saying, man, like most of our properties could actually work in VR. Other developers have already proven it.
Also Far Cry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and Noah Person said that Splinter Cell is not an Xbox exclusive, so it'd have to be between one of those. If I was Ubisoft and was trying to sell people on VR and stuff, I really like a lot of the games they did, but yeah, if you want a big hitter, something like Half-Life Alyx size, Assassin's Creed to me makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Or Splinter Cell wouldn't be bad. Splinter Cell or even Far Cry.
I'd be down
the
for
thing,
Far Cry or Watch Dogs.
One of those three.
You could certainly.
No, not Watch Dogs.
Well, I mean, Watch
I don't
Dogs,
want-
Division.
It's not very good.
It's
Division.
These are
Division
games,
2 was like a huge success for them. I don't know if they're going to be moving away from that. That absolutely crushed.
but they're not
for
moving
them.
away from anything. They're just saying, oh, here's also a VR game from a very successful franchise. If they're not going to move away from flat screen Assassin's Creed games if they put out an Assassin's Creed VR game. It's just going to be an extra title in the series. That's all. I think that they could do pretty much anything at this point. We'll see what happens.
Larry Lane just says it'll be Just Dance or those rabbit things. That's funny.
I mean,
Just
unfortunately,
Dance is
Just
the
Dance
very
makes too
solid.
much sense.
Yeah, that might work.
Yeah. We're getting real
All right.
excited, and it could be Just Dance.
Yeah, I know. All right, so just wanted to touch base on that. Pretty cool stuff to see. I really appreciate Ubisoft's commitment and relentlessness to keep going with VR. It's cool stuff, and their games are pretty good. All right, so we were watching you live stream last night, Brian, and
Sorry to hear that.
a certain gentleman or a gentlewoman named Vash was in the chat and informed us that Golem has had a price change, and this looks like a permanent price drop. There's no markdown on it, but apparently on the PlayStation Store as well as eBay and Amazon, Golem is now $25.
That's a good price.
Why don't you own Golem yet? I'm talking to everybody out there who doesn't own Golem. This game is amazing.
I think it's pretty amazing. And, you who's been obsessed with all of your polls lately, I'd like to know. I've got a question for both of you and maybe even the chat.
Yeah, let's launch this as you ask. I will create a new poll right now.
I want you to, okay. So anybody who doesn't follow at Parole Games on Twitter, so we can settle this once and for all. Now, keep in mind, I love both of these games, but I want to know the majority of people's opinion. Do they like Golem as a $25 game, or do you like Shadow Legend more, or is it a better? Are you gonna ask which one they like more, or which one is better at $25?
No, which one do you like more? Because which one's better is, I mean, that's so subjective. If you say I like this game better, good, poll complete. No one understood. Apparently, no one understood my poll about Resident Evil 7 or Astrobot. You're like, well, I like Resident Evil 7 better, but Astrobot. I'm like, you know what? Then pick at Resident Evil 7. Which game do you like better? Yeah. Which game? Now that Golem is $25, which game do you like better?
Yep.
Golem.
I want to know. What about you two? I want to know you two. Official IMCast.
Golem or Shadow Legend?
Yeah, at
that's a
$25.
hard one.
Which one you like
It's
more?
a really hard one.
It's easy
I feel
answer
like
for me.
Golem has more content, but Shadow Legend is cool. I don't know. I think Golem's a more polished, deeper game, probably. And it's more replayable. So I would say Golem, but everyone in the chat is saying Shadow Legend is way better.
I'm looking. Yeah, I'm interested to see. I love both these games, but I gotta say I would prefer Golem at 25, just because the immersion, the graphics, the combat. The combat is probably the biggest thing. The open world. But I totally agree that you could argue either way. What were you gonna say, Brian?
Yeah, you could absolutely argue either way. I think that Golem was an incredible experience, and I mean, it lasted a while, and it took. I really felt like I was making some serious progress every single time I opened another door. I got another mask and was able to open another part of the map. And then on top of that, the combat.
Dave, mute.
The melee combat was.
Mute, Dave.
The melee combat was like just.
I was on mute, damn it.
No. Sorry, go ahead. The combat.
Yeah, the melee combat was incredible in Golem. and it was just, it got faster and faster, and there were more and more, things you just had to react faster as you went, and it felt really good. And obviously the game world was, really stunning, and it was like this big kind of open world. And then you'd have Shadow Legend that gets rid of that open world, and you're dealing with very small, separate sections with like huge loading screens between each one. But each of those small sections had so much to do, whereas like there wasn't so much to do, for vast regions of Golem's world. So they're wildly different, and I absolutely love both of them. I think both of them are going to find a spot in our next top 20 list, probably fairly high up.
Yep.
But so it's like, which child do you like better?
I know.
Because you always like one better.
The chat is very mad at me for making them choose right now. But this is a much easier comparison to make than Astrobot and Resident Evil 7. Because those games are nothing alike. These at least both offer, it's like, do you want the 1,000 different things to mess and interact with? Or do you want just the solid, slow-moving, like, combat? Like, that's better combat. So I was just interested to see. I'm sorry I put you guys through that. You don't have to choose if you can't, and it hurts your feelings. But yeah, I appreciate everybody answering that. And we'll see on this poll. I'm interested to see how this poll ends up. But
the follow-up question, of course, no one's voted yet. Why hasn't anybody voted? Come on, guys. Let's get to it.
Because they're here, they're not on Twitter yet.
Yeah, whatever. You guys can multitask, right? I think the follow-up question to this is not which one's better, is why do we think this is a $25 game now? It was literally just $40 3 months ago when it launched, and now going. Right. We never see price drops this quickly. Obviously, I think we had at least one example of it with Space Junkies, right? But we don't ever see this happen unless games really just don't sell. So is that what we're thinking? The game just didn't sell?
I don't think it sold as much as they wanted. At least I'm pretty sure the physical copy sold out pretty fast. But that's a limited go from Perp Games. That's not, I don't know how many they produce, but.
Oh,
I was under. Or am I wrong about that?
No, Perp Games generally doesn't do limited runs of anything. So
I thought I remember it being sold out at one point.
I'll check
maybe
the website, man.
It could have been temporarily. Maybe it was just temporarily.
Could have very well been temporarily. I know that like Target was like super crazy backordered for a while and stuff, and but we'll see here. We'll see. Wow, Perp has a lot of games for sale. Where the hell is Golem?
They do.
God damn. Here we go.
If you're in Europe.
What's that?
I said if you're in Europe, they have a ton of games for sale, right?
Bryan, I don't think I heard you clearly though. Which one did you say?
I didn't choose. I think if I honestly had to choose one, I think that
Marbles.
I think I'll choose Marbles. No, I think Shadow Legend was just overall the better experience. I wanted it to be twice as long, but man, what's there is so good.
I agree.
It doesn't mean I like Golem any less. I think they're both amazing games. But Shadow Legend, I think, would be my pick. I absolutely love that game. Yeah.
Just curious. Thank you for answering.
Dave, do you have a pick?
He said Golem.
I think I said at the beginning. Yeah,
you said Golem?
I'm pretty sure. Even though I beat Shadow Legend and I never beat Golem. So I don't know. That's a hard one. I could flip a coin.
It is hard. That's why I asked. All right. So you guys ready to move on?
Yes.
Sure.
So, exciting times. No Man's Sky has gotten the Living Ships update. And I got to say, this is probably one of the bigger updates I've seen since the Beyond update dropped. They've added Living Void Ships, Organic Technologies, Origin Story Mission, Tentacle Cockpit, Varied Space Encounters, Space NPCs, and various quality of life improvements. Now, have any of you guys had a chance to check this out yet?
No, this is all you. I'm actually taking a backseat over here and just listen.
So I gotta say, man, this first of all, do you think Living Ships is gross, or do you think it's cool?
I think it's awesome. Yeah. That's so cool. Like the idea of getting upgrades for your ships, not by buying or installing or creating them, but by like nurturing your pet ship. That sounds fucking awesome. So I'm really excited.
I'm very excited. I am on part 2. So essentially what it's looking like it's going to come down to is that there is a 3-part mission segment you have to do. I've already gone through part 1 where you have to use Quicksilver in the ship in the space anomaly. Quicksilver you get from doing these missions from the Nexus, and then you have to have 3,200. Luckily, I was very fortunate that I had been saving up, and I just happened to have like really close to it. So I just did a mission or two and was able to do it. Was able to buy this thing called a void egg, and you buy this egg, and then once you get this egg, it activates the mission. It starts the missions for doing what's called Starbirth missions, and essentially one of these ships comes out of nowhere, and then you use your little interactive communications thing with it, and then you follow coordinates that it gives you. And my God, following these coordinates was such a pain in the ass. Once you get to the planet, finding the exact coordinates was a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. But essentially, it leads you to this thing, and you get this like stem, I can't remember. But essentially, you have to wait 22 hours.
Bullshit.
Real hours, not even like in-game hours. I had to wait 22 hours. At 5 o'clock, 2.5 hours ago, my stem is ready, and so now I have to do part 2.
You know what this game needs?
What is
microtransactions? You should be able to pay 99 cents to skip those 22 hours.
No one ever. It wouldn't be 99 cents there either. It'd be $5.
No, it'd be 99 cents.
Quit giving them bad ideas.
All I'm saying is, in a game where you're supposed to wait 24 hours for something to happen, that's usually they sell you a 99-cent thing where you can skip it.
Can you hit that for me, Dave, real quick?
I shall.
Thank you very much.
Fuck you! This is my tree world! This is my tree brain!
That's for Joe Grover with the $10 donation. Thank you so much, sir. He says, hey all, Golem is $25 on the PlayStation Store right now, which hopefully this is just a follow-up to the conversation we just had. Not bad for that price. It's the Dark Souls of girls on a bed making rock giants destroy stuff. It really is the Dark Souls of girls on a bed making rock giants destroy stuff. Nailed it, Joe. We love that game. Everybody pick it up.
Thank you, Joe.
I'm still very sad. I feel like something went horribly wrong over there to cause the price drop so quickly in 3 months, but hopefully it sells a whole lot more now.
For sure. Let's see. Is anyone? Yeah, I know. I was thinking of Void Cat a lot during this Void Egg. Professor Liz says, I'm so annoyed at myself. I see so many people that spent all their Quicksilver right before this happened. And Duran Fan says, if these organic ships are like the Cylon ships in the Battlestar Galactica reboot, I'm in.
Nice.
I don't know what the I gotta see. I need a refresher course on that.
I love the reboot series on Sci-Fi. It was amazing.
But yeah, if anybody is interested in doing this, I highly recommend it. It looks really cool. This is my kind of jam, having some weird. I can't wait. So essentially, I have to do more missions tonight, and then I have to wait another 22 hours, and then I imagine I have one more mission. Possibly have to wait another 22 hours or something, or I just get it. So this weekend, guys, I will definitely be live streaming
for 24 hours straight.
No. I will definitely be streaming this weekend once I get my ship unlocked. It is in the works right now, but really excited. It's all procedurally generated. So I have no idea what kind of ship I'm going to get, what it's going to look like, but I can't wait to see it. I know there's going to be a couple other people as well. And on top of this, though, if you're not interested in this part of the update, there's more. There are random space encounters that you can run into where, if you're using your pulse drive where you're going really fast in space, you get like a message saying something detected. You can slow down to see it. And if you hit the brakes, there will be something that pops up. For me, it's been a crashed freighter. So now there's crashed freighters in the sky, like just out in space, just blown apart. And it's really cool to look at. There's also like these crazy new anomalies and stuff. I found some kind of weird like decoder thing that gave me like some coordinates to go find. So there's just this, like I said, this update is pretty significant, pretty big update, and it's awesome. And if anybody wants to check it out or something, definitely hit me up or join the Discord. We're talking about it in the Discord in the hashtag No Man's Sky section. But fantastic update. they also added that they are going to be moving to a monthly update model where instead of taking 6 months to release updates, giant updates for this game, they're going to try to do smaller incremental updates to the game every single month. Pretty awesome stuff, man. And this update is fantastic. I can't wait to see my ship, and I can't wait to be in VR and look around with a gooey tentacle cockpit. Man, I cannot wait. I love this update so much. I love the way they support this game. Also, this game is currently $22 on PSN right now. It's on sale. You can probably get it cheaper physical, but anybody that likes their stuff digital, it is on sale right now as well. Just what a fantastic update this is, though. Love it, man.
I think we have 3 to catch up on.
Let me say this one real quick, and I'll let you guys. Damn it, tree guy. Sci-fi Game Cat Henry, yeah, with the $2 donation says, "Wait, did somebody say sci-fi?"
And then that's the VR grid with the $2 Canadian saying, "Buy Golem, you fools." Agreed.
You fools.
Fuck you, don't squeeze me!
Dave, I think this one's directed towards you, so I'll let you say it.
Well, yeah, he wants me to take shots, but I'm not. It's empty.
Yeah.
Drink this. Is this count as a shot?
There's no update on the Pro patch yet. I'm giving honestly though, this game is so deep with its mechanics, with its gameplay, so varied that really the graphics most of the time don't bother me. There was a little bit where I was like, okay, I've spent 150 hours in this. I need a crystal clear game to play. But when I jump back in after this update, the graphics, the blurriness, yes, it's still a little blurry. It's not bothering me at all, though. But Professor Liz also says she ran into a crashed freighter and some Gek who needed help with repairs. So there's some NPC stuff you can interact with. Man, what a damn good update! Everybody should get this game too. There's so many good VR games, man. It's really incredible. There's so many good games. I don't want to ever hear somebody, which you don't anymore. But I don't want to ever hear anybody say it doesn't have any games, because this is freaking incredible.
I think I blocked all those people, so that's why we don't see the comments anymore.
But yes, Just Incredible says, don't try to defend the lack of a pro patch. I agree. I didn't mean to defend that, but it definitely needs this pro patch still. We're all crossing our fingers praying for this thing.
I mean, the thing to remember, right, is that when they put out a patch like this, it's for everybody. Right. It's so many people playing in non-VR. I mean, so many more people playing in non-VR, and a ton of people, sirens on my end, of course, playing on the OG PS4 in VR. And so when they put out a pro patch, they're literally just addressing such a small little segment of the population, not just people playing on a PlayStation 4 Pro, but people playing on a PlayStation 4 Pro in VR is probably the smallest segment of No Man's Sky Beyond players. So it's awesome that they're putting out these huge patches that address everybody, and hopefully we'll get that pro patch one of these days.
I really hope so. Like I said, Skyrim took a year. I'm giving this game a year, which would mean the summer. If we don't have it by the summer, then I'm not expecting it at all. Maybe, PS5 gets some kind of update. But yeah, all the stuff everybody's saying in the chat about what they're running into with this update is pretty hilarious. Nice. Stuff I haven't seen yet. So
did we address VR Grid's last tip?
No.
Let's
I won't. I will not. Someone else make a sound.
VR Grid with the 2 Canadian donations says, take off your shirt.
I think Ryan's the one drinking here, because if he's asking Dave to take off his shirt, what the hell is going on here?
People have already. I've done that before. I'm not in the mood right now.
Before the pro patch, though, I do have a huge list of stuff I'm sending into them through their website. I forget the name of their website, Zendesk, because there are some issues where, I thought I was playing with Niculo yesterday, and I thought that my freighter had run out of gas in another galaxy, and I haven't used it in 4 months, and it turns out that you can't call the freighter with moves. You have to use a DualShock 4. So there's little bug fixes like this, and vice versa. There's things you can't do with the DualShock. So they do have some more bugs to address and stuff. This stuff, but yeah, I'm hoping they get this all corrected and then get that pro patch out to us. And in the meantime, I it's really hard to complain with this last update though. This last update's amazing.
Yo, I can't believe Golem's still not out in Australia. What the hell's happening?
I don't know. I don't know why Golem's not.
Foolish
So,
It's
Australia.
payback. It's payback because everything else comes out earlier in Australia.
Oh, but you add up all of the
And
days
this is
of games that
This
came out
is our
earlier.
one. We fired back at them.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. All right.
But yeah, are you guys gonna ever get a chance to check this out? Or Dave, you probably are, right? At least.
Oh, absolutely. At some point, yeah.
Brian, maybe?
I would love to. I just don't want to make any promises right now because I'm just drowning in stuff that I need to do. Especially with PAX coming up the weekend after this one. Getting everything scheduled and taking care of everything ahead of time means that I'm doubling up on work right now, so I can go to PAX next weekend. If I find time though, and I am finding time to play Beat Saber almost daily, so I guess I do have more free time than I'm letting on.
I'm glad the bug is in you now. The Beat Saber bug.
Yeah,
Because he didn't get the Beat Saber bug for a while.
the Beat Saber bug took a while to hit me, and I think the reason is because, and people are going to laugh at me about this, but I just wasn't very good at Beat Saber for a very, very long time. And here, let me have a quick Beat Saber trailer here while we're talking about it.
Ooh, Golem is taking the lead now.
Sweet, it's going.
100%.
Oh, I see that you just liked
Shadow
liked my
Legend.
tweet. Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Oh,
Shadow Legend, and I retweeted it.
nice. Well, that'll get people voting for sure. So that wasn't being sarcastic. Everything I say sounds sarcastic. So Dave, I got to explain this to you, and I'm explaining to everybody in the process. This
Okay,
is
I'm listening.
how bad I was at Beat Saber. That if you had asked me while I wasn't playing the game which hand each saber is, like which color each one, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I wouldn't be able to tell you that the blue saber is in my right hand and the red one's in my left hand. I would not be able to tell you that. And so it's because of like simple things like that, or not playing enough, and not being able to, just not having that innate knowledge, so that when a block is coming at me, like I don't even know which hand I'm swinging with. So anytime I had to hit a blue block on the left side, my brain would just shut down, and that would not happen. Like that is how
Oh
good.
yeah, no, that's the initial stopping point. Because when you have to switch over,
Yeah.
that it really messes with your head. But once you get it down,
Yes.
it's really fun.
It's so satisfying, right? Because
Yeah.
it makes you do some pretty cool movements where you're hitting a block here, and then back over here, while you're doing stuff with your other hand, and when it finally clicks and it all starts working in your head, you start saying, oh man, it's like this is when hard is too easy. Now expert is where I'm playing all the time. And it's just slowly but surely I'm like finally getting up to this level that the rest of you guys have been at forever. And the great thing is, of course, you can if there are so many, there's probably one part in every single song that the blocks come at me on expert and I just go, what is happening right now? Like I can't even process
Fun
this.
feeling though. It's fun.
Right. Well, it's fun now because it used to be I'm never going to be able to do this. But my new mentality is I know that if I just practice at half speed, 60, 70%, 80%, and slowly ramp it up, I know that in about an hour, I'm going to be able to do that whole section without even thinking about it on expert at 100%. And it's in knowing that I'm going to be able to accomplish that small task over the course of an hour means that I'm basically perfecting one song a night on expert every night. And it's been so satisfying. And I feel the game just became like 20 times more fun to me. That's all.
Well, Brian, I'm so glad that you are loving Beat Saber, and
Yeah.
it is a great experience for you. Now I want to hear about your experience with a game that comes out tomorrow called Bullet Sorrow.
Oh God, we're finally here. We're finally here. We made it. Okay, before we have to talk about that, let's do this one real quick. That was it.
That's a really small one. Okay. Who's got this covered? I'm bringing up the trailer.
That's going to be Slyburger with the Canadian $5 donation. Says Random Q. Do you guys wear contacts? I find it interesting that a bunch of dudes with VR screens an inch from their faces all day don't need glasses.
So I've always had really great vision my whole life. It's never been a problem. And then just recently, I got really sick. You guys probably know this already. I got really sick basically the day after Christmas until the end of January. I was in bed almost every day for the entire thing, just barely putting out any content for the channel. And at a certain point through that, I thought that like something had happened to my vision, and I, for the first time in probably 20 years, maybe 25 years, I went to an optician. Optometrist, that's the word. Thank you. And I was convinced they were going to be like, yeah, your left eye is like failing you big time. And they were like, oh yeah, we could write you a prescription, but you're probably never going to use it because like your vision is really good. And I'm like, okay, I play like 7 hours of VR every single day and have for the last 3.5 years. I'm very happy to hear that this is working out. Like, good. So yeah. And also I talked to my brother. My brother wears glasses, and he uses them for reading and for distance. And he finally tried PSVR recently. And he's like, I was shocked that I didn't need glasses. He's like, I just put it on, didn't wear glasses, and everything was perfect. And I was like, oh, that's not a story I hear very often. So awesome. What about you guys? You guys don't wear contacts, do you?
No, not me.
I do not wear contacts. I have a bad stigmatism though, and I wear glasses when I'm driving in like really bad weather or at night, or when I go to the movie theater. It just helps because otherwise everything. I'm also nearsighted, so everything really far away gets really blurry, and I don't see like fine detail very well. But never had to use glasses or contacts with VR. Not at all.
Yeah, so I'm in kind of the same boat as AJ. Like, I have glasses they did prescribe me a while ago, and they were like, yeah, you're kind of nearsighted. You might want to use these for driving at night or driving in bad conditions or seeing a movie. But I never used them because I don't want to start relying on them. Because I feel like once I start wearing glasses all the time, then I'm going to have to wear glasses all the time. So I'm fine, I think. We'll see. I haven't been to an optometrist in a long time.
Thank you for the donation. We appreciate you.
Thanks so much. And cool question. Cool, different question.
Yeah.
Right.
And thank you for delaying this horrible conversation just another minute because.
And now it's time to talk about.
Oh yeah, Bullet Sorrow VR.
And just FYI, everybody, they never released, as far as I know, a new trailer for the PlayStation VR version. So all we've got to work with is the PC version. And there is no co-op. From what we're hearing, there's no co-op in the PC version anymore either. I don't know. I think somebody said they pulled support for that a while ago. I could be wrong. But there is absolutely no multiplayer in the PlayStation VR version. And there's not really much of anything else, to be honest with you. We're hearing reports from all different regions how expensive this game is. It's like I bought it on the Australian store for like $53. It's roughly $40 everywhere else, and it hasn't actually dropped on the North American store yet. It won't until tomorrow morning. But I was saying it was going to be $20 because that's the Steam price. But $20 is too much, and if they have the fucking balls to charge any more than that, they're going to crack.
25. Well, so what is 53 Australian dollars? That's like at least 30 something US bucks, right?
Yeah.
Like, what did you pay in US dollars for that?
I don't know.
Conversion rate. I'm going to look it up. So Australian, you said it's 53.
Yeah. And so, but AJ, like when this first happened, AJ was saying that that Throw Anything had the same pricing discrepancy where it was like, $18 here, but it was like, what, 40 something there?
So it's, you paid $35 essentially.
Yeah, it's like 35 quid and then like 53 Australian.
This game does not look like it's worth more than about
$7.
$7.99 is where I'm at with this game, and that is being generous. So for anyone who didn't watch the live stream last night, I mean, if you're really bored, go watch it. I had a good time streaming it because I just get to basically shit on a game for an hour and 40 minutes. And everybody in the chat was a lot of fun, and we had a good time, I think. But yeah, the game is super duper rough. It really. And hopefully I'll have a review out tomorrow morning. That's the goal, but it's been a long day already today. The game really wants to be like Time Crisis. It really wants to be Mortal Blitz. It wants to be these games. And I know that... Did I say Time Crisis? I meant to say Crisis Brigade. But you guys are getting the idea here.
Yeah.
And I know this game came out on PC before either of those. But it's just it wasn't improved at all. This game came out in 2017, and it seems like it has not been improved at all for the 2020 release of PlayStation VR. The teleportation mechanic is really bad, and it's teleportation only. There's click turning. The click turning buttons are on the wrong hand, so until you get used to that, that's a pain. You're only allowed to walk around very small areas of the map at a time until you complete. It basically becomes a wave shooter. You get enemies and enemies and enemies coming at you, and identical enemies too. There's no rhyme or reason. Last night I played the entire game on the easiest level, and today I played it on the hardest level. And I swear it's the same game. I don't really think there's a difficulty option. It seems like the same game. And so the enemies just come at you. They're exactly the same character model over and over and over. And then once you take down that wave of enemies, it gives you a circle to shoot that says to progress to the next part of the stage. The game fades out, and then it fades back in, and you're literally 1 foot further in the stage. It's so dumb, man. Why, if they had just given us full locomotion and let us go through the stage and take down enemies as you go, at least I would have been like, oh, this is kind of a competent shooter, and it's kind of fun. But there's just so many problems with it. So many problems.
There were definitely some little things as I was watching. I was like, I can see the potential. You kept saying there is potential there.
So much potential.
And I could definitely see it. But this game was straight up abandoned on the PC. And, there's no adjustments made. When you bring a game over to PSVR, you got to make some adjustments and nothing. No touch up. Even like Eclipse Edge of Light, like that was a Oculus Go game.
Yeah.
But they touched up the graphics. They added DualShock 4 support and stuff, and this is just bare bones ported over. The game was abandoned on the PC side a while back, so I wasn't expecting great things, but it sucks because a little bit of polish, a little bit of care could have actually gone a long way here. We all saw Mortal Blitz, which is an incomplete game, but also a lot of fun, and it had the care that I'm talking about. But yeah, the price. No matter what happens with this, the price is just, but
yeah, honestly, the difficulty is not my biggest complaint with this game, but the fact that the game is still crazy easy, even on the hardest level, I was shocked because I figured, you throw bullet time on. I figured if there was like 20 bullets coming at you, you'd have to do some like Matrix kind of style moves to dodge them all. This could have been, if that was a thing, it could have been kind of a lot of fun because it does have like this sort of occasionally super hot vibe where you're like, okay, things are happening in slow motion. I got to make sure I don't get hit by these bullets and, take these guys down. And it just, everything just seems wrong about it. I will say when I played it again today, I was like, man, there's a little bit of fun to be had, but there's a little bit of fun to be had for $8, not for 53 Australian or
right,
or whatever they're charging, man. It's absolutely insane.
Crazy.
Yeah, if they dropped this to $8, man, I'd be like, yeah, why not, man? It's goofy, it's silly. The endless mode had me laughing, and I will say the endless mode is really the only part of the game that I really liked, and it wasn't even that good. It's all zombies. They actually let you roam around the whole area, unlike the rest of the game that kind of confines you to small areas at a time. You sort of have access to this entire. It looks like the basement or the first floor of a hospital or something. And they've got these Silent Hill 2 style zombie nurses coming at you, right? Like super sexy zombie nurses coming at you, and you're like, I'm down, right? But and so
I'm
you
down.
And it's endless. So you're like running around and you're just shooting things and trying to survive. But I killed 450 enemies before I finally threw in the towel because I was not.
Jesus Christ! Wait, so you hadn't died? You just gave up because it was
finally
boring
gave
at
up
that
because I
point?
couldn't
Yeah.
handle it anymore. Like I was giving the game the benefit of the doubt, going, "Am I supposed to be destroying these crates? Am I supposed to be destroying these barrels?" And eventually, there were no more barrels to destroy because they only let you destroy one at a time. Most of the barrels are like semi-translucent, and then there's like a yellow hue around one that you're able to destroy. And that only happens occasionally. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm supposed to take down each of these barrels and track down which one is destructible, as I go through this. But then once they were all gone, nothing happened. I was like, I don't even know what the point of this, the endless. Oh, and the worst part, I'm still on this rant, sorry. The worst part is I killed 450 bad guys in the endless mode, and I finally quit out of boredom. in that score and the score for all the other 3 levels. There's only 3 other levels that are again like 10 minutes long each. Those scores just disappear. There's no
Really?
there's no leaderboard. There's no online leaderboard. There's no local leaderboard.
You don't unlock anything.
Oh
you don't
God!
get anything for it.
Unlocks.
No. Okay.
They don't. There's no record anywhere that you have ever played this game ever before, other than the trophy list, which I still haven't seen because it hasn't unlocked yet. The trophy list is still busted.
This sounds like the first endless mode that really means it. Like you're just stuck in this for the rest of your goddamn life unless you decide to quit. And if you do, well, it just ended. You didn't get anything for it. That's it.
And they're showing sniper rifles in this trailer. I just realized they're showing sniper rifles. I played this entire game twice. Never saw a sniper rifle anywhere. What is going on with this game?
You just have to complete endless mode. It only takes about 13 hours.
13-hour live stream incoming.
13 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm unfortunate. If this game is over $20, I'm not picking it up. If it's $20 and under,
it's gonna be over $30.
No.
Well, there's been a lot of price. There's been a lot of price discrepancies. Throw Anything was 18 in US and like 40 something in in Australia and stuff. So
how does that even happen? That's
I don't know. There's definitely some issues going on with the pricing between US and EU and Australia right now, and not only that, but release dates as well. Not sure, but I'm hoping that this is just a small issue. But like I said, if it's over 20, I'm not supporting that. Like I'm even like I'll just wait. I just can't. I can't support that. I can't waste my money like that.
No, absolutely not. And there's no reason.
I want to know. Well, I want to know. Like I want to have the knowledge.
Right.
Of playing everything because I try to play every single game that comes out, but I can't do it if it's over 20.
Yeah, well, I've played every single game that's come out, and I feel like this one should have been one that I skipped.
Yeah.
Real quick, just because this is a game that I love talking about, Dragon Slayer Productions writes also Visage is coming to consoles. I think this year. Can't wait to play that game. Indeed, it is coming to PlayStation 4 supposedly later this year. I've been keeping a close eye on Sad Square Studios and their progress on Visage because at one point they promised PSVR support. It does not seem like that's a thing anymore, but I do think we're going to see PSVR support on PlayStation 5 with Visage. I think that could be a thing. I've been harping on for quite a while, thinking if there was going to be a surprise PSVR launch title on PlayStation 5, that might be the one. That's the one I put my money on. But we'll see. Small team over there working with Kickstarter money, so hopefully they make it happen. All right, let's move on. I don't want to talk about Shadow Madness, Bullet Sorrow. Shadow Madness, a PlayStation 1
Shadow
game?
Madness. Yeah, what is that? Hold on, I gotta see.
Welcome to my world, man. I got
Madness.
thousands and thousands of video game titles in my head, and every so often the wrong one slips
That
out.
is definitely a PS1 game.
I own Shadow Madness. That's
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Not for long.
Oh man, that's
That'd
a
be
good
on
one.
eBay,
All right.
isn't it?
So also FYI, anybody buying my stuff on eBay, I'm starting with PS4, and I'm slowly working my way through stuff I'm comfortable parting with. I realize it's going to take me upwards of 2
Shadow
years.
Madness.
2 years to sell my collection. So the stuff I've got a long time. I can deal with like the more common stuff, the stuff I'm ready to part with first. So I know some people are like, when are you going to sell your Atari Jaguar stuff? And I'm like, I don't know if that's going to be a thing. We'll see. I love my Jaguar. All right.
Jaguars. All right, one more game
Do
to
the
talk
math.
about, and then we've got some awesome sales to go over. But Coaster.
I wonder if I even downloaded this trailer.
This is only in the. I totally forgot this. This is only in the U.S. You can just go to my. Well, never mind. Yeah, I've got a 15-minute thing, but I live streamed this
15
game.
minutes. Wow. Okay,
Everybody.
sorry,
Sure.
my chimichanga is here, so I got to go get it.
Okay.
Hey, can you bring the guy in? Can we talk to the guy and get him on camera?
Seriously. But anyways, somebody Vash says, "Quick, somebody make Shadow Madness in dreams." But yeah, speaking of, so Coaster, this is basically as bare bones as you can get. Just a little roller coaster that I started off like in a little room and go around the room. It's like when you go to the theme park and there's these awesome roller coasters that are like huge and people are like going down, they're like, and they're like screaming. This is like that one that's like right next to it. That's like really small for people that don't like roller coasters or are like afraid of roller coasters. Like this is kind of one of those. You kind of just go here and go that. My biggest gripe with this game is that there's no loops. I was really excited at first that it had a boost button. I'm like, roller coaster with boost? Like, all right, maybe onto something here. But no, it looks like, I mean, the graphics are not good. They're not. It has a clear resolution, but the graphics and the textures are blocky, and they look like PS2 textures. Just really dated. This was an old game that got ported from the Go or something years and years ago. Maybe got touched up a little bit. I'm sure it wasn't that clear on the Go, but man, four rides and you go through it. Each one lasts about a minute, and it's nothing great.
By the time you're done talking about this, I may have your Let's Play downloaded.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's by the time I get, like, me talking about it is pretty much longer than the game is, because this game is about 10 minutes and then it's done. 10 minutes, you're done with it. They have trophies.
What are the four different types of? You said there's four different ones. How are they?
There's four different levels. There's
different?
two space ones.
Okay. Two space ones.
Two of them are the same. One of them is a space one. One of them is a moon one. The moon one was definitely the best. But I actually liked the other two because of their creativity. One was like a picnic where you're going around like on a picnic. Oh, all the backgrounds, by the way, flat image. Flat image for the background, so you're looking at it and it's not like impressive. There's no 3D depth, anything. But anyways, the picnic was kind of funny because it was, I don't know, it's a picnic table. You're like flying down. Somebody was commenting about like, oh, the pie and stuff, and like, you know, the pie was like huge. It makes you, if you remember like Twisted Metal Small Brawl, where you're like the little tiny cars, and like, you know, you're at a playground instead of like these, you know, factories and stuff that you'd be in the other ones. It was kind of like that. Like it was, everybody kept saying like, Honey, I Shrunk the GC or something, or Honey, I Shrunk the God Cannon, because that's kind of what it was like. It was like being in a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids little ride where you're going around a picnic and stuff. And then the other one was a room, and you're going through this like just room. It goes outside. There's a helicopter. The presentation is not very good. Like, because some people were like, this seems like it would be good if somebody's not good with VR. And like, I'm still like, no. Like, I had friends that where if I were to show them something, like they would be impressed by like Rush of Blood because the presentation was just so over the top, the special effects, the you know, even if the graphics weren't as clear, it was just really cool. But
AJ, I've had your video running for about a minute now, and most of that time was a loading screen.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
this game. The loading screen is nuts. That's probably like, you know, of this 10-minute video, which the video is actually 15 minutes, but I replayed one twice. But yeah, it's like, it was like 7 pounds. So it's not like Let's Riot. It's not Bullet Sorrow. Where it was $50 something, but it was 7 pounds. But I still would pay like $1 for this.
But would you even recommend that people pay $1 for this? Like this does not seem like, you know, there's plenty of other roller coaster games. There's Roller Coaster Legends 1 and 2. There is obviously Rush of
which
Blood.
Usually do go on sale for like $1 or $2.
A couple bucks.
And I would much rather recommend those because at least
Roller Coaster Dreams.
At least the presentation.
Are you recommending Roller Coaster Dreams, Dave?
I think it's really entertaining in a weird way, and there are actually a lot of user-created parks you can go and check out.
That's true. Those are good.
They're roller coasters and stuff, and just the NPCs make me laugh endlessly. So
somebody said
I
something.
have a weird kind of good bad love for it. You know, it's so bad it's good.
Somebody said something on my stream that I could not agree more with, and that is, you could probably have a better experience if, depending on the VR support, in Dreams. If somebody could make a much, much better roller coaster in Dreams than they could with this. Like this is old. It's just old, and it's not exciting. You'd have to be very, very sensitive to VR for this to be like any exciting at all. If you've played Rush of Blood, if you've played all this other stuff, this is not worth it. No. And like you said, you can see right there, the freaking loading screens are. If there's one thing I hate most, is the loading screen that like fade, like it like goes black and then that thing spins and then it like turns back, like the headset like constantly turns off and on. I really hate that kind of loading screen.
My least favorite kind of loading screen is where it's plastered to the front of your vision, and wherever you look, it's like following you around. I hate that.
Yeah, even like Rush VR does that. So like, there's decent developers out there
That's what I was thinking of. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, cannot recommend this.
This or Darkness Rollercoaster.
Darkness Rollercoaster.
Wow, that was no thoughts required there. All right.
No thought required.
Wow.
Cool.
Darkness Rollercoaster is like a few bucks more, and
at least you get to shoot stuff, even if it
you get to shoot stuff, and there's a variety of levels, and there's rides in Darkness Rollercoaster that, guess what, you don't shoot stuff, you can just enjoy the ride. And that
I've got to ask,
having for the first time, I just played Rollercoaster Legends. Wait, no, not Legends. What's the name of this? Darkness Rollercoaster. That's what I just played for the first time today, and I was super unimpressed. I really did not like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know about recommending that one to anybody.
No, but I would no. He just said this or Darkness Rollercoaster. I said
I'm going to put up another Twitter poll.
Yeah,
by a mile.
Yeah. Which is the worst roller coaster game?
Right. Although
1 out of every 6 people will like Darkness Roller. No, 1 out of every 10 people will like Darkness Roller.
I don't know about like. I think they just won't find it as terrible as the rest of the people. These coasters just end in coaster. They just fade to black. Like there's no indication. Like they don't come to a stop and then it fades to black. It looks like they're just fading to black in the middle of a ride.
That was another thing that was disappointing. I wanted this to let me keep going around as much as I could, and then like when I get done, then exit back to the menu. I hated that it just goes around once, and then it forces you to go out. Yeah, I hated that. It was
Craziness.
Terrible. Just play freaking Rush of Blood. That's all you need.
Stop comparing it to Rush of Blood. They're not the same kind of game.
That's the only game.
Sorry.
That and Rollercoaster Dreams.
Rollercoaster Legends.
The only two.
At least Rollercoaster Legends has you shooting stuff.
Okay.
The second one has you shooting stuff is good.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean
it's very limited.
Exactly. Pick it up on sale, $4, something like that. It's way better than this coaster thing. All right, time to move on.
All right, so we are wrapping up the show, but we got a couple cool things going on, a couple sales to talk about. So that's it for the news and what we've been playing. Want to maybe make this segment if you guys like this. I don't know. We'll get your feedback. Let us know in the Discord. A couple sales going on. Newegg.com has a PS Plus for 1 year for $39.99. So anybody that doesn't have Plus, BestBuy.com has a 5 terabyte external Western Digital hard drive for $99.99, $100. That's
too many games. You don't need 5 terabytes of games.
I have a 4 terabyte one, and yeah, it's awesome. I never have to worry about running out of space. On PSN, PlayStation Network, Borderlands 2 is half off at $25. I'm sorry, but it should be $24.99, I believe. But Borderlands 2 half price if you have an aim controller. Highly recommend it. Moss is on sale for $19.99, which is a pretty great game, one of my favorites. But everyone with an everyone with an iPhone, you need to go to my Twitter at GodCannonPSVR and click the link for the free iOS animated stickers, because now when Brian Paul texts me, I can respond to him with a little animated quill doing some kind of emote.
Which means I'm twice as likely to ignore his text now.
I love these things, but it's only for a limited time. So trust me, it is adorable. You want quill in the form of a text to be able to send.
How much is Moss on sale for?
$19.99.
Okay. I feel like Moss has been out for a while. It was $30 at launch, right?
And it could be cheaper.
I feel like 20 is probably would be a nice place for this to land after the sale. It would be a good reach.
Yeah, just stay there. Yeah.
Fair point. Joe Gerber says, "Wait, what? You can hook up an external drive to a PS4? I had no idea. Yes, you can.
There you go.
Killing Floor Incursion is $9.99, which has
pretty good.
Such a must-have at this point.
Yeah.
good co-op game and great physics, great gore for all you people that like gore a lot.
Gorn.
You can dismember. Doom is $14.99.
I'm like, can't even change the trailers fast enough to keep up with you.
I think Doom is at $14.99 is a pretty good price. That is the most. That is I would say that's the max you should pay for Doom is $14.99.
That's ridiculous. Get out of here.
What?
What's the retail
Doom
price?
is
25?
awesome.
That doesn't mean it's bad. I just, I love Moss. Moss is awesome. He said
Doom
$19.99
is
is a little
worth
too
more
much.
than
I
Moss.
said,
That's
yeah.
all I'm saying.
You think Doom is worth more than Moss? I think that's your opinion.
I think that's absolutely true. I think that's a fact.
But Farpoint, Void Cat Game Citizen,
His favorite
is
game.
$9.99. Farpoint for $9.99. If you haven't played that, good God, you have to. You know what, Brian?
Hey.
When I said don't play, when I said I don't recommend Coaster for £750. That's because Rush of Blood is $750 right now on sale. And one that who was it that mentioned this earlier? Raw Data is $13.99 once again, guys. Raw Data is usually $40. It's a really good game, but it's not a $40 game.
They're still charging $40 for
That's another one.
But
yeah.
right now,
Well, then if you're gonna buy it now. Yeah.
$13.99. You should
That's a good
definitely
price.
pick up Raw Data
Yeah.
for $13.99 if you have the Move controllers. Couldn't be a better time. Tons of content for it too.
I think so. And I think a lot of these developers are they're well aware that the VR audience that everybody who's going to buy a PlayStation VR has certainly not bought one yet, right? So they dive in and they're like, oh, I've heard of Raw Data, pick it up. I've heard of Moss, pick it up. And so it's kind of pointless for it to go on sale because right now there's not a lot of people waiting for games to go on sale. They're just new PlayStation VR owners that haven't played any of these games. So
Right.
So maybe telling developers to drop the price of their games, it's sort of pointless because I think they're going to make a ton of money by keeping them at the price they're at. But yeah, no, Raw Data is absolutely like a $20, $25 game. It's perfect at what'd you say, 16?
It's $13.99
Perfect. Pick it up. $14. Grab it. So much fun.
price point. Personally,
Technically a wave shooter, but man, it's a really good one.
no, it is a wave shooter,
Tower
but it
defense.
has a tower defense mechanic.
Yeah.
And then there's but it's also got full locomotion. And once you unlock the upgrades and stuff in the game, once you get the dual pistols, and then you can put them by your side to reload them, and you're just that is a great mechanic. It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was four different types of characters to play as, each one with a different weapon. The story,
Yeah.
I think the story in Raw Data is incredible. I think it's really
got a
well
decent
told.
story.
It's got a humorous slant to it. I'm a big fan of this game. I think it's very either underrated or not nearly appreciated enough.
Yeah, and I think the price, throws most people away. So, No Man's Sky, as we mentioned earlier, is $22.49. Amazing game. I have almost 300 hours in it right now.
So worth the price, apparently.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
Endlessly replayable. I mean, you can play it forever, pretty much.
Good.
Electronauts is $7.59, which is a
Very
fun.
good price.
It's a fun tinker mess around game. I'm not the
If you have
biggest
friends
fan.
over and you want to just do a VR DJ thing, it's super intuitive. It's super fun. It's not a game, but if you haven't seen Electronauts, check it out. It's worth $7.50.
Yeah, I'm not even a big fan of Electronauts, and I was like, I have to include this. $7.49 is a great deal. $7.59 is a great deal for Electronauts at this price. I would actually say Electronauts might be a better deal than Battlewake at $14.99, which is also on sale. And I love Battlewake, but I still feel like it lacks depth or something. It's a great kind of experience at first, and then it kind of wears off.
I'm just reading the chat. Gaggle the Game Scat quoted me saying Moss can suck a dick. It's that's going to be on my tombstone. VR makes everything better. In smaller print underneath, Moss can suck a dick.
My favorite part too was in the in the top 20 list yourself. You're like, I said some pretty bad things about mods.
Oh man,
I love how you actually included that. Man, next top 20. Oh, I can't wait.
It was all in good fun. It was all a joke. Everyone knows I love Moss, but man, yeah, you are right, man. The next top 20 is going to be very, very divisive. There's going to be all sorts of different games thrown in there. Dave, I hope you're prepared to fight us off.
Battlezone is coming in.
No spoilers, Dave.
Wow, Battlezone.
And I might not agree. I might not agree with that Battlezone pick.
I love.
That's because you haven't played with us. You haven't played with us, motherfucker.
I've played with the cats. I know what's up.
Not. You haven't played with me recently, and what I'm saying is,
I've not played with you. No.
It's real fun.
And so finally, that's the biggest games from the sale. There's a couple more on sale, but those were like the big ones I had to point out.
Yeah, and these are all North American, right? So like it's
North America.
Sales are always different in every region. So and it takes so long. Every time I try to put sales stuff together in like a this week format or something, it always takes forever. Like going on each store and figuring out which ones are on sale both places. It's never consistent. So we apologize to anyone in different regions, but good luck. Check out the store and see what's on sale.
Finally, though, Doctor Who has a physical edition that can be signed by the developers over at Perp Games. That is mostly an EU company.
Keep in mind, you can if they do ship worldwide. So if they're still available, you can buy them, even though it's the EU version. PS4 is a region free, so don't worry about it. You should absolutely pick it up.
Frowny Game Cat Miros is out of all those on sale. What is the best? Pick one. If you had to pick one from this list, here I will post in the chat. Everybody say what they're gonna pick. For me, out of all these, oof.
Oh Jesus.
I'd have to say raw data. If you don't have raw data, definitely pick that one up.
I'm gonna say Farpoint for $10. If you don't have Farpoint, that's a great deal. $10. If you have the aim, that's insane. You have to play that.
I think, I guess I just have to go with Rush of Blood because I just assume that at this point that everyone already owns Rush of Blood.
Right.
If you
that's kind of why I didn't say Farpoint.
Yeah. But these, Killing Floor at $10, man, it's such a good deal. Seriously, some of the best graphics, but like the environments, everything look amazing in Killing Floor. It's tough, man. It's tough, but I guess I'm going to go with Rush of Blood just because it's everything I love about VR.
Diz says Killing Floor 2. Vigilante Diz, as I like to call him. But yeah, raw data for me. But yeah. All these. I picked all these. I picked all these because I thought these were all good.
Yeah.
There was other ones that I left out because I was like, nobody should play Mind Labyrinth VR.
No,
I did.
All right, Brian.
Is that it?
Take us home, man.
That's the whole show.
Yeah.
We're done.
That is the show.
I've had a chimichanga here for 20 minutes, man.
Chimichanga. Oh, damn! I put burrito in the description. I got it wrong. I apologize.
It's a chimichanga.
All right. Well, guys, thank you obviously very, very much for hanging out with us. It's nothing but good times. I always look forward to PSVR Gamescast Live because AJ really does all the work and I just kind of sit back and make thumbnails for a couple hours. But
this is a damn good looking thumbnails. Chat, tell him how good those thumbnails look.
They take so much work, and AJ's always.
But they look so good.
He's like, dude. He's like, you got to make a custom thumbnail for next week. And I was like, I don't know, we'll see. But this one I had fun with all the paper beasts and everything. Like I had to create. I took one paper beast and I made a shadow for him, and then I was like, oh man, this paper beast needs a herd of other paper beasts, and I started putting them all like in the environment. I had a lot of fun with this one, but. That's right. I look forward to the show every single week. I look forward to hanging out with the cats. I look forward to hanging out with you, Dave, and you, AJ. Of course, if you missed the beginning of the show, we're going to repeat this again. Join our Discord, man. This is where we all hang out all the time. The chat over there is pretty much nonstop, 24/7. Discord, click that link in the description. Also, subscribe to Dave Station VR. That link's in the description. Also, follow AJ on Twitter because he's been pimping that hard this fucking episode.
Yeah,
I don't know what
don't
that
follow anybody else on Twitter.
Don't follow Pixel Ripped. Don't follow anybody. Just AJ.
If you follow me, you basically follow the entire PSVR ecosystem.
If Shuhei says something, he'll let you know. Okay,
but also follow AJ at PSVR Underground. That link's in the description. Thank you to everybody That was in the chat today. Thank you to everybody watching this later. Thank you to everybody who donated. Always appreciate that. And thank you to, of course, the people I like to thank. The silent majority. The people who just sat back and watched. Didn't say a word, but watch every single week. We love you all. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Cats. My name is Brian Paul, and we're out of here.
Oh, man. Origami Herd of Paper Beasts, yes. Joe Grover, Durant Fan VR, The Game Cat, meow, Wonder Rob, Corix, what's up, dude? Still waiting on that sequel. Actually, poor Corix is probably still waiting on Final Assault. Secrets of. Cheers, man. Cloaked Reaper Games, what's up, dude? He says, don't forget Robinson, Brian. No, he will forget Robinson.
Robinson, yeah.
No. Rody the Game Cat. Rody was here on tour. On a tour bus, here moderating the entire time.
Meow, meow.
Give it up for the mods, man. I mean, they are just amazing, the work they do. Keeping Delirium Drew out of trouble. Game Cats Market, it is beautiful, man. GG Decepticon, guys, fist bump to you. Scorpio, is No Man's Sky really a good deal, or should I wait? It is a great deal, but I would check to see what it costs physical copy. You don't need the Beyond version. You can get any copy of No Man's Sky. I bet you can get it for like $10 physical. If you don't see it anywhere, then definitely pick it up. Vash the Danish, thank you so much for becoming our newest Patreon member, as well as dropping the Golem 25 news, and also says Firewall is free and its DLC is all on sale. Thank you for mentioning that. Make sure you guys go download Firewall. It is free right now. JB, great tantrum. Thank you. Joe Grover, thank you. Big Boy Cheesy Toes, thank you. Love you guys. Dora guys.
Doug Fu says, screw Robinson.
I agree. I'm with you, Doug Fu. Ninja Cat. Hoo-ha. Hee-ha.
Meow. We're out of here. Good night.